And we're back. Sorry about the delay, folks. We were working out a technical thing over here. But we are back again with Obscure Nick joining us for another mind map session. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. It's so lovely to be here again and speak with you all.
Right on, right on. Yeah, I'm glad we got that thing figured out. Okay, hold on. I'm just
Yeah,
trying
I'm
to.
so glad too.
I'm just making sure I have the
It
other
took a while.
thing. Yeah, I'm just one sec. I'm
Okay.
just making sure I got the other chat thing popping off and that we got the other timer thing set up. One second,
Okay,
guys.
cool. Cool. Let me know if anyone like sends anything because I'm on mobile right now, so I can't see what everyone's typing.
Oh,
But I hope you
fair.
guys are all doing well. If you send anything, I appreciate it. Just letting you know, and Tez will cue me in if there's anything like that, and I will
Yeah.
acknowledge that. So
Well,
thank you guys so much for being here, though.
yeah, we were just talking. I guess Obscure Nick's been doing this such a long time, and mainly doing the Twitter threads. If you guys aren't familiar, they were part of basically like the Drake Bell thing, like revealing the Drake Bell situation before the Quiet on Set, and they've been doing this a long time. Like she's been at it for probably as long as I
Yeah.
have, if not, like longer. I don't even know. It's been years, right?
Yeah, like about 11, like I think I made this account back in 2015 but it was such a different light. Like it was much more lighter. And it was really just to give certain content on some of these kids networks. Um, just talking about other shows that don't get recognized and other stars that don't get recognized as much. And then it led into the darker stuff of Dan Schneider and things of that nature. So it's actually crazy that it's been like 11 years.
Yeah, that is
And
pretty
how that's
wild.
evolved since.
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot that's happened since too, like watching the evolution of everything. It's been wild.
Yeah, there wasn't like much on Dan Schneider at that particular point. Like it was more so just people did notice that certain things weren't as popular, and that were outside of the Dan Schneider sphere. So so I wasn't even like doing it based to focus hyper focus on him even. It was just to give people who didn't get seen to be seen more so. And it wasn't even about like it was pre me too as well, in that time. So it was we didn't really have the conversation about essay and NDAs the way we do now. And it's crazy that I made this account during a time where I was heavily industry involved as well. And I didn't even realize what I was doing at the time. And I didn't become aware. And I truthfully didn't become aware until like about like 2017. I knew there was some stuff and it was mostly Dan Schneider based. But by 2019, when someone decided to message me and tell me their experience at Nickelodeon, that opened the floodgate in a lot of ways. And a lot of people, I used to actually, as you probably know, Taz, is like I used to have my DMs open at all times. So people who are victims of abuse or have a very tumultuous and traumatic story could come forward and speak their story, and to
Yeah.
speak it anonymously without having to have repercussions with it necessarily. So I would usually vet their story and I'd vet them and I would find ways of them proving that they actually were part of this, and part
Yeah.
of they work like they show me your like Nickelodeon lanyards on Snapchat so I'm not keeping that as a receipt just so I can see who you are and what that you were here and you were involved and stuff. So so I'd vet them in that way, but I had to close it after Quiet on Set because things got out of control because people took advantage of that. And I have a very strict policy where if like you want to come forward, you do have to have something to show, some sort of evidence that you were involved with certain people essentially. And people thought I was just going to post whatever, which I don't post whatever. I
Yeah.
post real stories.
Well, and like, of course, like you want to make sure that it's like a legitimate claim. You don't want to be out here making accusations or allegations and getting yourself in hot water, you know, because just because some anybody came through the DMs and said some wild shit, right?
Yeah.
Like you got to protect
Yeah.
yourself, of course.
Exactly. That's why I don't have a defamation lawsuit, because everything I've said is true.
Yeah.
Everything I said was true. And, and even if I was wrong about stuff in the past, I would just own it, you know?
Yeah.
I've never had that situation come up as of now, but again, I've vetted people if they were going to come forward about their stories. And one of those people was someone that was close to Drake Bell. I'm not going to say who. Back before even Quiet on Set was the thing, back before even Drake Bell was shocked, like
Yeah.
himself, with that whole thing. I don't want to say what that was exactly because that was a private exchange, but so and it's crazy, and people are like, oh, because people would thought back then that I was just like a conspiracy theorist, that I was crazy, that I was just saying whatever. And I truthfully, on my page, I do not allow crazy conspiracies to get out of the way. I'm okay with questioning things, but I keep it with allegedly. I keep
Yeah.
it with allegedly if that's the case. Like there's a lot of things with Britney Spears that are going on around right now, but I'm keeping it to allegedly right now because I'm only basing off the information that was told to come with the conclusion, just like we all do. We all are very, like, we all base an opinion and base what we feel and think based off of new information all the time. And that
Yeah.
changes and fluctuates, of course, over time. So,
Well, even if you vetted the people, like, there's always going to be people that have their own agenda and may exaggerate or embellish or say certain things, so you can really still only take it as a grain of salt sometimes, right? So you,
yeah.
even when you've come out and said it, you're not lying, you're telling the truth, you're saying it what you know, but then that could turn out to maybe not be the thing sometimes, because you never know what their, like I said, what their agenda is, right?
That's true. That's a
But
very good point.
But with the Drake thing, like that was, you know, and I was sort of circling around that around the same time, and like I don't know if I'd seen because like my Twitter got nuked at one point in between too, so I don't know if it's like that was where I saw the lead and started going down the rabbit trail or what. But when I look back at some of my videos, like I kind of was getting there through the Brian Peck, Bob Villard, a backwards avenue. So I don't know if it
Yeah.
just happened around the same time or if maybe I did see your thing and like if I did, I really
Like in
you know
2021?
yeah, it was
In
like
2021?
it was. I don't even know. I got to try to go back and cross section it. But the way I was presenting it, I know that if I had gotten it from you, I would have mentioned your Twitter. But where I was explaining it and how I went about it was like the timeline and comparing the cast and like the I don't even know if like I went back and in my Charlie Sheen video and like in the Amanda video, like I'm not really sure, but I think it was like it was gonna come out one way or the other, but you were the one to like break the ice for sure. You know, like there was the confirmation uh, with the contact that you had, and then that was before the Quiet on Set. But I feel like that was like the catalyst that like it chipped away at it to the point that then it became a mainstream thing, and then we finally had them talking about it where he came out and confirmed it himself, which was a huge thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And there's a lot of things I can't say regarding like Quiet on Set and like my part I played in that. Just because it was all I respect off the record conversations that I have with a lot of the news and the press, and I keep a secret, but with your point saying it really people, when you look at the replies back then, not many people believed me, only like a few content creators and a lot of actually a lot of alternative media was only hearing me, and I didn't mainstream media didn't pick it up till 2024. And then I was once it was picked up, it really people were like, oh my god, like she was right the entire time. How did she have this information? How did this happen? And it was just simply someone came forward with me with a story they had that was in Drake Bell's inner circle or inner yeah, and like his area essentially, and they wanted to have something to say, and I always, with my page, I'm always protecting the victims and protecting the people who come forward with their stories that could totally change everything. And like we saw with A Quiet on Set, that changed everything. That really changed everything in a lot of ways and really shined a light onto things that were meant to be covered up for so long. And things always come to light. And a lot of these people in the industry that try to cover things up for so long, it eventually all like comes to fruition at some point. You cannot hide forever. You cannot pay people off forever. And people are not going to take the hush money always now.
Yeah.
And people are tired of that because eventually it just, there is the humanity of it all catches up,
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
For sure. No, I see that the chat's finally, everybody's filing in here, so I was going to just welcome some folks in, and then, sorry, I want to let you continue,
everyone.
but welcome, guys.
No.
We got some regulars,
Welcome,
and we started a little late, so we're seeing some new faces
Sorry
in here,
about
which
the
is
late.
great. Yeah, no, it's cool, though, because we got Juniper Perry, Dances in the Rain, Lyrial Xander, welcome guys. We got some new faces, and welcome to the regulars. Hesky, we got Kim, Sunny Swan, Jennifer, Catherine, all you guys. Plinko, good to see you. Welcome. We were kind of already
see you all.
We were kind of already having a pre-conversation, so we kind of jumped right into it. But I guess that is to say too, like with the background and stuff here, I want to mention like the amount of hours and time that's gone into the investigations and the legwork to getting this stuff out and doing the threads and breaking this whole big thing. And Obscure Nick has never ever made a dime ever. And we're trying to get the YouTube going and try to get a few things going otherwise. But I want for you guys to consider, if you wanted to help support independent media, I did include the link. It should fire off at some point here. If it doesn't soon, the PayPal, yeah. If it doesn't soon, I'll drop it in the link or drop it in the chat. So if you guys could consider supporting, or at least get over there, follow, like, share. Make sure to subscribe. The links should all be popping up here shortly. I have the things flipped on. It takes a minute to kick in. It takes a minute to kick in. But if you guys can help support, because like you've been doing such important work, and like just the amount of hours that you end up spending, and I know this too personally, like I have so many more conversations that don't end up being like for content, it ends up being an off the record as far as just the depth of understanding or to be a support system or what have you, right? So the amount of time that I know for sure that you've put in to all of that, to the legwork for a lot of these threads, and like knowing some of these people personally, and being a support for them, and like encouraging people to help and donate them, and like you've done so much and then never asked for a dime, so that was so shocking to me. And I know there's no incentive in it, and that's not what it's about, but we're all trying to survive out here, and I know everybody's having a go right now, right? So
it's just hard when you're like, I'm someone that's definitely shadow banned, been blacklisted, been blackballed, if I'm being honest with you guys. And but I never asked for that ever. I never made money off of any of this because I was more in a framework of being like, we need to talk about this, we need to have these conversations, this hits home to me in a lot of ways. And just because of my background, my story and stuff too, which I never talk about, but but I've put people that know me, and I know there's people in the industry know exactly who I am and stuff, and they're watching, and I'm aware of that. But at the end of the day, I have no issue having this conversation, even if it makes me homeless, but
it's like it's the hill we're all like willing to die on. I think
it's the risk. There's a risk factor in doing this
for sure. And like the real ones, I feel like all started it in like doing it as a hobby, doing it because they felt like it was the right thing to do, like me included. Like for the first however many years, 4 or 5 years, like it was just I was doing it on the side when I could. And, like, I would take time. Like, it would be months for me to do a documentary because it was, like, I had so many other things, right? But
Yeah, that makes sense.
it did. It started as like a hobby, and then it kind of got to the point where it's like I'm either gonna go all in on this, or I'm gonna try to keep doing what I'm doing. But same thing. Like I lost different opportunities or side gigs, or just like putting so much time into this that other areas of my life would be uh, neglected or whatever. Like where I could be focusing on making the
Right.
money, I'm like sinking into this, and then it's almost like taking a vow of poverty. Like for sure, you put yourself in a position where it's like you're definitely not in it for the money, right? But
No, no, you don't do this work to be in it for the money. You can't.
yeah,
You can't really. If you want to do it ethically speaking,
yeah,
and if you want to do it for the right reasons, at the end of the day, that's how I've always looked at it. I know that there are people that do it for the money, and they'll say whatever they want to say to get the clicks, get the likes, and they'll
mm-hmm,
even make up stuff. And then they have all these like these defamation lawsuits that I'm just
yeah,
like, well, so you gotta be careful. You gotta choose your battles wisely with this. And it's like you said, because you put like I've seen your documentaries and stuff and I actually use that as information, and to for like my own work sometimes
mm-hmm,
to take it in, because it is a lot of work when you can tell when someone has put in all the work and has put in all the information and considered all the elements around the situation itself, versus someone that just taking one article, running with it, and just making clickbait out of it somehow.
yeah. Which that's the problem is it seems like there could be more incentive in the shock value and the glorifying and sensationalizing than just telling the truth. And like this, so this is why I want to more so showcase people that I know are telling the truth as it is, like doing real investigations and not just regurgitating like tabloid stuff,
Yeah,
right? Like, and not try to just
yeah.
make it this shock value thing, where I feel like that's where a lot of, especially in this industry, like in celebrity entertainment industry, a lot of it is the shock value, right? And then this is where a
Oh
lot of them
yeah.
spin out of control. Like this is where we end up with like Amanda Bynes or Britney Spears, or just a segue, because I know this is something you were wanting to talk about too, the Britney Spears, but where they make them
Yeah.
out to be a spectacle when they're obviously struggling, and then if anything, it just contributes to the struggle, and then we have the meltdowns and we have all this stuff, which then just feeds the machine even more, and then it's just bad for them. It's just worse. It just makes it worse rather than being supportive of these people that we apparently idolize and we apparently think are so talented, and we put them up on this pedestal, but then we treat them like shit when they're struggling, right? So
Yeah, exactly. Society only wants to see one element of a celebrity, really, and that's how like they really want a surface level regurgitation of that person, and they can't handle when they change phases and stuff, and it becomes hard to digest, because our society is programmed to be doing the same mundane things every day, and to be only used to familiar I can't even say the word. You guys know the word
familiar,
familiar
yeah.
familiarity. Yeah.
Oh, familiarity, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
late.
yeah,
It's
I don't know
okay.
why my tongue's not working.
It's okay. It's
But
late.
yeah, they're not used to it being unfamiliar to them.
Yeah.
And so it gets them like a little scared when that happens. And that's why a lot of celebrities struggle later in life, especially child star celebrities, because they have a hard time transitioning from child actor to adult actor, child star to adult star, in a sense. And they always have to, be bold and find different ways. And it's a struggle. It is really, and we've seen so many child stars that have and you spoke about Jonathan Brandis um recently, and he's like one example of that, where I feel he never truly could get to his adult star path, and he struggled along the way. And and I think some people really struggle with it, because they're like, I'm typecasted as a young person forever. And then they eventually need to numb themselves out from the reality of that, which is why they get to drugs, alcohol, etc. And that's how those though that's how they get involved in things like that, is because they can't handle reality, because reality is too harsh for them and reality has not accepted them. And also, when you're typecasted, truthfully, as someone who's been typecasted themselves, you get to a point where it pretty much is blackballing. Being black, it's another form of being blackballed, blacklisted, shadow banned in the
Yeah.
industry. And so there's various forms. It's not always the sense of someone from your past work giving you a bad, what do you call it when you sign up for a job, but
Like
like
a
they have to
review,
went
the
on the
reference, a
background check.
bad reference.
But the reference, yeah, they're
Yeah.
giving you a bad reference. Thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
that's okay.
exactly what it is. So is usually, sometimes there is bad reference is one form of shadow ban, blacklisted, or just them fully wanting, they say you cannot work with this person because they do this, that, and the third, or you're just typecasted because that's the only roles or only persona you've been. You don't
Yeah.
have diversity in your catalog. In like, even if the person can do diverse skill sets and performance with an actor themselves, and but it's not shown on camera,
Yeah. Well, and then
and so it's very hard for them.
it's like that's just the one layer too. Like that's just like the overall layer, like the overhanging layer of the transitioning from child star into adult stardom, right? But then you got to consider too, like the people surrounding them, and it's like, are you going to play the game or aren't you? You know, and a lot of people, I feel like once they start realizing what it requires of them or what they're having to overlook, or then applying what they're
Yeah,
experiencing in adulthood, to the childhood stuff, like starting to get a different context of what was going on around them. I think that hits them like a ton of bricks too. You know, like there's so much more to navigate coming into adulthood, coming through that industry versus just like it's
yeah.
hard just coming into adulthood just as a regular person, right? Let alone.
With a public persona, and also with that, like it messes with your psyche in a lot of ways. I'm just speaking from like experience on this, is that it really, um you miss certain aspects of your life when you are a child actor, because when you're a child actor, at whatever age you start, you're pretty much considered an adult and you have to act like an adult. So you don't
Yeah.
have the space to emotionally be a teenager, be a kid, or even have the time to do activities as a kid, as a teenager, you know? And then you feel like there's this part of your life where you missed it in a sense, and you have a sense of FOMO with that. But then you act it out in your like 20s and 30s. And there's a lot of, Michael Jackson is an example of that. You know, he has Peter Pan syndrome, and they usually develop Peter Pan syndrome because they have missed out on childhood and teenhood and things of that nature as well. So, because they've had to grow up fast, and also it messes with yourself because you're also not, your brain isn't fully developed until at least the age of 25. So, so you're only, and you also, and this is something I struggled with, is that after I was done on a certain, I'll just say job. I'm not going to say what it was,
Sure.
but after I was done that, and I was only in like one persona of that for so long, where I was the type of person who's a people pleaser, and I was in a type of work where I had to play a people pleaser essentially. So it was like, and when you're doing that every week consistently for numerous hours, it's hard to turn it off. It becomes very scary. It's hard to turn it off. And you don't know who you are once you're out of that space. You really
Yeah.
don't know who you are after that space. And then you ask yourself, like, who am I? Who am I in this world? I spent so much time being in this one role that I never explored any other avenue, truthfully, outside it, because that one role always felt like home. But once that is no longer there, especially when you go from like childhood to adulthood and you're in like your mid 20s or something, um, you really don't know, you really have to start over again in the sense.
Yeah.
And that's really hard. That's a really hard place to be.
They're giving a good example in the chat, but I don't know if they even meant to, but somebody was mentioning the Big Lebowski, and if anything, like, that's a perfect example of a few different characters that ended up getting typecasted and how it affected them. Like, the dude, first off, like, I don't think I remember him in anything else except for the Big Lebowski. And then you had Tara Reid, and
Yeah.
they had her in, like, the dumb blonde type character, and she ended up stuck in those kinds of characters for most of her career, right? And then you got her as an adult
Yeah.
now, and she, like, what was it, like, last month or a couple months ago, she was getting messy at a bar, and it was, like, this whole thing. But, like, no wonder,
Oh,
you know,
geez.
she's trying to now adjust to, like, full adulthood, like, she's in her 50s or whatever, and trying to just be an adult, but she's been this typecasted role for so long, and then now, obviously, she doesn't fit that anymore for roles, so it's like, I'm sure
Yeah.
she's struggling to get roles. So I know this guy, they're talking about Big Lebowski kind of in a sideways way, and kind of talking about John Goodman and
And
stuff.
she's 50.
But yeah, she's up there now. But for her to now be able to get her any role, it would be almost impossible because she's been that typecasted role for the
The
whole time,
typecasted.
right? The whole time. So, and I think a lot of them do. Like
Yeah.
Christina Applegate kind of got stuck in that lane, and like
And the dumb blonde.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I think I did see some stuff like later. Like it was like I think Christina Applegate had to age to get out of that. Because I did, or what, am I confusing her with Alicia Silverstone?
yeah.
Because
I
I
think
remember her
Alicia,
playing a
yeah.
mom.
Alicia
Because
Silverstone transitioned, but I don't think Christina Applegate did. I'm trying to think, but I'm pretty sure she got
because
stuck in it too
was
for
she
the
in that
longest time.
vacation movie? Was she in that
Yeah.
vacation movie like 10 years ago with Elizabeth? I remember Elizabeth Gillies in that movie actually. And it was like that college movie from 10 years
Uh,
ago called Vacation or something. I forget
yeah.
what it was called. And
Hold on, I'm
I
gonna
don't know
look
if
it
Adam
up.
Sandler was in it too. So,
No, I don't
but
know.
I
Hold
remember
on.
her
Now
playing
I'm
the mom in
confused.
that.
Um, maybe. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The 2015 one. Okay. Yeah. 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 Because there's like the
Yeah, so she
National
was not.
Lampoons. Yeah. 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 So well, she did. Maybe
Yeah,
she
yeah, I
did
remember that.
transition, and she was in that.
But that
Don't
was much
tell.
later.
She was in that Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead that has that young guy in it too. That other guy,
Oh.
um, Christopher Pettiet keeps coming back around. That poor
Oh,
guy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I think he was another one that struggled, and it's notice
Yeah.
how a lot of these child actors like Jonathan Brandis and Christopher Petiet, they are gone by like age 25,
Yeah.
because that's the age where you're like you can no longer pass as a kid child star anymore.
Right. Well,
You
and
are
then you're
now an
realizing,
adult,
and you're realizing
and
now
you'll realize you
you're
won't
starting
get
to
work
realize.
anymore.
Well, and you're realizing everything you just went through. Now you're looking at your childhood through an adult lens. You know, by mid to late 20s, you're starting to review. Like you start to look back on everything that happened, and then you get a whole different perspective of it, right? And I think a lot of them too get hit in a different way, where some of them it's an accidental thing, an accidental unsubscribing from Earth, but for some of them it's on purpose, like with Jonathan Brandis, you know. And so it really makes you wonder how many different layers are there, because obviously, like, yeah,
Yeah.
there's the pressure just from the industry and trying to transition to an adult, and all these things. But then there's so much more of like what's going on around them, and like their own peers, watching their own peers passing away
Yeah.
tragically and untimely. Like that's gonna affect them too. Like they got to put on a happy face and do the publicity thing, like everything's cool, but there's no way that's not affecting them along the way, you know?
Oh, 100%, 100%. There are times where I've had to um, put on my best face, and when I didn't want to, or I was pissed about something, and I would just like have to change that mood, like do a 180 very quickly. And so, when you can do that, it actually is like very scary. When you can do that, like it scares me that I can do that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I've learned to be more. I'm more self-aware of it now. But
Yeah.
before it was like very robotic about it. I was very robotic about it. So a lot of these actors are used to being programmed and act in ways that are, where when you're trained as an actor, you really know how to pull off a surface level persona where you are perfect, pristine, um, cute child sort of thing, or the perfect child in a sense, and so you can pull that out of you. and, act proper, and you can do it very quickly.
Yeah.
And you know how to shove your emotions down very well. So, but I think as you get older, you struggle with that. You either get embodied with that more, or you begin to be self-aware and being like, I know this is not healthy. I know this is not good. And it's kind of like, it is a form of method acting, I would say, but it's not intentional.
Yeah.
If
Well,
that makes sense.
it's like the truest test. Like, how much are you going to be willing to overlook, and are you going to be able to stay in character? Because, like, even your public character, like you as a person outside of your characters you play in a show or in a movie, that's still like a public persona that is still a character that you have to play. Like, yeah, you have to let everything roll off your back and be unaffected, unbothered. Like, you see some of these premieres where somebody on the cast has died before they get a chance to do the premiere, like with Happy Feet, the Brittany Murphy, when I was digging into that, and Steve Irwin died, and you see them all at the premiere, and like all of them have the sadness behind their eyes, and you can feel there's like a darkness and a sadness, but the way that they're putting it on is like, oh, what a happy day, yeah, the movie, like, and doing their little interviews and stuff. But to be able to stay in character like that and holding back that kind of emotion and sadness and whatever, like, and maybe it's not somebody on the movie, it's a close friend that, it's nothing to do with whatever you're on a press circuit for. But, somebody you worked with a couple movies ago passes away, like, that's going to affect you. And expecting those people to just put on a show, like, everything's fine, like, I think that in its own is pretty warped. Like, expecting people to act so robotic that's a big part of the problem for years, for decades.
Yeah, well, not acknowledge, like, the emotional aspect of it is a big thing I've noticed. But also there is an element of that where sometimes actors, performers, and creative people go into the happiness because they can't deal with the reality too. There's also that factor where they'll put on a happy face because if they feel they'll be okay if they indulge in that, and they'll just be like, then because that's the only way they can necessarily process and cope with that. And it's, and I'm guilty of that too. I'll say that. I'm guilty of doing that, where I will push myself into work to not think about the reality of it, to like, or even to vent,
well, it's like
or
the
process the
dissociation
reality out there.
I think we can talk about it now. We've been talking about it on the last few lives of just the dissociative aspects of it. And that it's just such a trained thing, though. Like, it's just so automatic especially for people in the industry, that it's like you can just shut it off and go into the character, right? But then how much are you holding back that ends up festering over time? The trauma's festering, and like, there's still an impact subconsciously that the more you push it down, the more likely it's going to come up as a meltdown later, like with the Britney Spears and, with Amanda Bynes. Some people are mentioning Amanda Bynes. And even like with Aaron Carter and some of these people, that we see them go on this downward spiral, and then we're more apt to like make fun of them and mock them for their suffering than to be understanding, which obviously it's changing a little more now. People are a little more trauma informed and trauma aware, but I think we're still have so long to go. Like, the way that right now that we see them talking about Britney Spears in the media is such a disservice to her,
It's so sad. And it's just crazy how the situation it's just what's most alarming about the Britney Spears situation is that it makes zero sense logistically speaking, because she apparently got a DUI. Yeah, there's no mugshot to be revealed. She passed the breathalyzer test according to the report, and she was never fully charged for a DUI. She was just detained, but she was never fully charged with it until later. Usually that sort of situation would have been taken care of immediately.
Yeah,
that's like, feels like a setup.
Yeah, it seems like the same playbook as before. Allegedly. Because they're trying to get well, because it's like yeah, but it seems like the same. I mean? I know. Yeah, like, let's be safe, right? But it seems like the same. It does seem like the same playbook they were working with before when they were trying to get her on the conservatorship. Like they're just trying to bring her back through.
Yeah,
Because now
exactly.
the kids like, and I don't know how controlled the kids are or how much really it's them acting on the behalf of the team or whatever. But they're definitely using the kids as bait like they were before, and then now them being adults, and like I don't know, there's so many more
Hmm.
layers now that I just fear for her safety and like for her sanity, because I feel like they push her
Yeah.
to get these
They push
reactions, you
her.
know. And who
Well,
was
she
it?
knows too much.
What was it?
She
Ben
knows too
Affleck.
much, right?
What was it? I can't remember
Ben
what.
Aff.
There was an interview, and I can't remember who with, but Ben Affleck was saying about how the paparazzi will push celebrities to get certain reactions out of them, or poke and prod, or like if there's something they know they don't want to talk about, that they'll like kind of badger them to get a heated response from them
Mm.
because it'll sell. Because the you know
Yeah.
what I mean, like with Justin Bieber, how they would be harassing him all the time, and then he would pop
Oh my
off
God.
and try to attack a paparazzi. Like, well, but they're harassing him and they're getting in his space, and they're like, you know, you start having anxiety and freaking out in a situation like that. Like it can
Yes.
start to invoke a nervous reaction, like a nervous system reaction as far as like your safety, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, even like, I actually, it's funny that you brought that up about the attacking the paparazzi thing, because I recently just saw like an old video of Amanda. It came up on my timeline from 2012 of Amanda Bynes digging her nails into a paparazzi, and it's on film and stuff. I don't know if you've seen this video ever,
I don't
but
know
he
if I
like
saw that
literally
one,
would.
but yeah, sorry,
But it
continue.
was in 2012. She was like just going to the gym and stuff. And this was before she went to, this was, I think this was like after her first arrest. Like this was like right after. This is when things first started to spiral. It was before the Twitter and the social media stuff and the bong out the window things. It was before that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much she was just walking and this paparazzi was following, and she asked, please stop. And she asked like 5 times. And then eventually she just was like, she had enough, and she was like, give me your camera. And just like, she would try to grab the camera from him.
Oh,
And then she
okay.
dug her nails into him to get him away, pretty
Oh,
much.
maybe I have seen it. I didn't know about the nails part, but I think I know the video you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
Because
you know
like
which
that
video
was,
I'm talking
well,
about.
that was a video that I went like the long way around, and it was like before things were like there's more like fair use and it's different now. But I went and I licensed clips for that. Like I had to go and I communicated like with
Oh.
paparazzi to get clips for that Amanda Bynes video, because so many of them like they were, it was very like I don't know. I guess they were just in a way trying to control the narrative in a sense, with anybody that was trying to talk about it. So unless you went and you were willing to pay the money to get the clips and get them to cooperate, you know. Um, but that
Well, that
one,
makes sense that
yeah.
because
Sorry.
before, oh, sorry. Because with what I was saying, like with that, it's like exactly what you said with the paparazzi. A point to be made in regarding to that is that before we were like, how do these paparazzi know where these celebrities are and stuff? Back way back when, before social media and stuff. Now that
Yeah.
paparazzi culture isn't as big,
Right.
but before it would always be an insider that wants to take certain celebrities with certain money down, like
Mm-hmm.
Britney Spears, like Amanda Bynes, like Lindsay Lohan back in the day. It was always an insider. Because isn't it very suspicious that like the Spears family has such a big tie to TMZ, yet in the past, since forever, TMZ was part of Britney's worst moments. So
Yeah.
isn't that very odd that they have a relationship with TMZ like that? It's very odd and it's very calculated, and
Well,
that's
and
how
just yeah,
certain people can control the narrative.
the evolution with some of the paparazzis, and because yeah, that was the trouble with it, because obviously the angle I'm going is doesn't make them look very good, and the videos don't make them look very good
Yeah.
when you put them together, and how much she was harassed and how much, you know, even with both of them, Britney Spears, like all of them really, but Amanda Bynes especially, I feel like, just to go as an extension of what you're saying there, that like it seemed like that they knew they could get the reactions out of her, so if anything, that made them more hungry to get more people going after, to get that reaction, to get that payout, and it just like created a vicious cycle, you know. So that was like the you know, I gotta meet halfway. I've got to work with them to be able to get the footage, but at the same time, they're not gonna like it how I'm going to present it, and so that wasn't really great for me for a whole minute either. But
Yeah.
Like that video, I ended up having to try to repost it a few times because I was going into talking about the dissociative disorders and stuff like that, and how she appears to be on the spectrum versus like what this is what the diagnosis is, and they're trying to make her sound crazy. But here are the examples and why I think that maybe she's like it's a symptom of trauma, you know. And at the time, obviously, it was a few years ago now, so I didn't have as much knowledge and wisdom about it all now as I do now. But we also weren't even allowed to talk about it, so I feel like I had to go back and chop that video up so many times and reword it so many times just to get it out the freaking door.
Oh.
Like for years, like the first time I'd posted it, I think was like 2020 or 2021, and then I tried again in 2022, and then I think now the final one that it's still there now is like 2023. But that was a struggle and a half because I think there was like it's like they want to make that deal and get their clips out and like you license them whatever, but then if it's painting them in a not great light, they don't like that. And just in general, the industry in general, talking about the dissociative disorders and stuff, they really didn't like that a few years ago. So, like, that's huge now that we can. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
It is, and it's very true. But I think you brought up in that video, I think you brought up a lot of points in where it was having a conversation that wasn't being had. And I think with a lot of these situations with celebrity meltdowns and stuff, even like dating with Brittany Murphy, and even Anna Nicole Smith, I would say, there were a lot of conversations there was only one framework because back then we didn't have the luxury of social media and stuff.
That's true too.
The way we saw everything was through one viewpoint, which was on these like Entertainment Tonight talk shows and things of that nature, and these tabloid shows essentially like TMZ, Hollywood Reporter, Hollywood TV, you know, I don't think Hollywood TV exists anymore, but
like Hollywood Fix or whatever. There was a few. Yeah, there's a few of them.
There was a few.
The Radar Online was pretty vicious to some of them. I don't know if they really exist anymore either, though. Or PerezHilton.com. He keeps coming back though. He keeps coming back. He's pretty resilient. Fuck yeah, that guy.
Yeah, well, he favors. He looks at my stuff sometimes. So.
Does he?
Hi, Perez, if you're listening. But
he's kind of a dink, but he I think he's got to the point where he just wants the truth too, and he's had a lot of kickback or a lot of pushback for some of the stuff he's tried to cover.
I just think his approach, and I think he would even admit that his approach hasn't always been the best in the past. But I think he comes from a place of just wanting, let's just say the quiet part out loud, you know? Mm-hmm. And so, he's one of those people.
We're all kind of a product of the environment, too, in a way. Like, the way that it was delivered back then, the way that celebrity gossip and news and all this stuff, like, it was just delivered a certain way, and he just was doing that really well. You know what I mean? So, it might not have been a good thing. Yeah, like, it might not have been a good thing in the grand scheme of things, but he was just doing it the very best he knew how, and it worked, obviously. Like, he kicked up a lot of sand a lot of times, and he got deplatformed however many times. Like, he's gotten kicked off TikTok like 7 times or some shit like that.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know he got kicked off TikTok. Like,
like a bunch of times. Like, he just keeps coming back, but then they'll let him get some traction, and then they kick him off again, and it's actually kind of rude, honestly. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, because he probably said something that was very true, that was very alarming, that was waking up there. Like, they probably shook some people around a little bit.
Yeah.
So, because I could see him saying, because his content seems at times, and it actually doesn't seem too bad now, but he could have said it. He could have just went off, been like, I'm just gonna say this.
Well,
then certain people want to shut him down. So, which the feeling's mutual, because you and I have had situations, weird things happen like that. So,
well, and it's just it's to each their own, right? Like, everybody's gonna have their certain audience and certain people that they prefer, and everybody has the right to that. So, I mean, he's not hurting anybody. I don't think he's ever really done anything like that outrageous to be getting as much, slack as he's getting. But like you said, if anybody that's trying to get people to think for themselves, or trying to get people to think differently away from the official narrative, like, there's always a pushback. There's always some issue. Like, if you're ahead of the game too, if you're giving more information than what the mainstream wants out at any given time too. Like that brings problems. I've noticed.
Yeah, yeah, very true. They will want to shadow ban you. So I don't know if I can say the word shadow ban on here, but
Well, and it's not even
um,
really that. Like, yeah, there's just different ways to de-incentivize people. Let's say, because like, yeah, I don't know if we can even call it that anymore, because it's not even that anymore necessarily. But, uh, yeah, like there's definitely ways they de-incentivize people talking about certain things. Um, and like that's just what it is though. I think that's always been like that with media. And like you know, and I know that you kind of like went halfway on it or whatever, and me too, even because the whole
yeah.
Franklin conspiracy stuff is messed up. But the whole conspiracy of silence of it all, like the way that that town had
Oh,
gone about silencing it, you know, and concealing and protecting the abusers and silencing the victims. You know, I think
yeah.
that that's a blueprint that we see over and over again in the industry, and especially in the case of like with Perez Hilton and people that do like create waves. You know.
Yeah, with those sorts of things, and it's becoming more common. And it's actually where it's creating a conversation of us questioning these institutions and actually these institutions and these high profile companies where there is systems of abuse in place and they're covering systems of ABUSC in that sort of way. And so, and it's the conspiracy of silence is like one of the first earliest forms of truly doing that by what I've been seeing because I've been as you know I've been like researching that and I might be doing a video on that at some point,
Mm.
but it's a very hard thing to digest as well, but
Yeah.
it's a very shocking thing and it's a very real thing, but it's something that it seems to be more common. And I think we can have an open conversation about that because of things like Epstein files.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Well,
that
in
being brought to light.
the
So,
Dead network, like we do see it being played out over and over again. Just it's like it evolves and it's more refined over time. You know, even with the Diddy stuff, like these parties and stuff, the way that there's like a pipeline for whatever people to get what they really want out of it. Because in a lot of the cases, it's not even about the money. It's not about the getting the best ratings on the show or whatever. You know, it's not about the front end of the achievement in the entertainment industry. It's the who they're getting access to and what their
yeah.
content that they're able to make of these people while at these parties that they can then either use for blackmail or whatever, right? Like there's so many other layers to it.
Yeah. Yeah, there is it's and it's just like it's just crazy how like um these things have been like covered up from these places to like the point where it's like it's not even just like covered up like within a year's time, covered up with decades of time, you know? And I think a lot of things are coming to light now where the truth is being revealed, light is being shined upon it, and it's things that 20 years ago you had been thought of like you are crazy, that is just you're just a conspiracy theorist. But now it's like, well, there was some truth here. And sometimes it's not always the thing we necessarily read. The truth could be something different. Things
Mm-hmm.
come in surprising packages. You may be there with the truth and everything, but it may be in a package you didn't expect it in.
Yeah, definitely. Like, well, and some people were just saying in the chat they're talking about Kubrick, and like that's almost a perfect example of that. Of he was sort of a wild card. Like people aren't really sure if he was a good guy or a bad guy, but he absolutely was trying to say some shit in some of his work. Like the Eyes Wide Shut and with even
Yeah, this
Clockwork
was
Orange and some of his main most provocative movies. It's like at the time it was controversial, and at the time people didn't know how to receive it. But now looking back, people are like, oh shit, that was a documentary. And realizing, after the Eyes Wide Shut, the final cut, he didn't want to cut certain parts of it, and he didn't want it to be presented their way, like they wanted to change it, and then he mysteriously dies, like 6 days after, or 4 days, is 4 to 6 days later, and he was otherwise perfect health, right? So it was really shady what
That is
happened
so
there.
crazy.
Because a lot
That
of
is so
people
crazy.
now, like it's decades later, are starting to come out. Like people that worked on the crew or had worked in the editing room or whatever are starting to say, like, yeah, it was the stuff to do with the kids that was supposed to be in there, and there was supposed to be so much more to it. It wasn't supposed to be focused on just Tom and Nicole, you know. Like there were other storylines that were supposed to go with it. Like it was a whole masterpiece, and we never got to see that cut. Because they didn't want us to, you know, because it was going to be too revealing of the times, you know, and it's only gotten worse, if anything. But now we can have the conversation, and now looking back, you know, it seems that much clearer, right?
Yeah, yeah, that is honestly like insane because like the eyes wide shut, there was supposed to be more, and I think, like you said, and again, when it always comes to children and child ABUSC, the industry will avoid that like the plague because the industry is guilty of that and guilty in the most incestuous ways, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so that makes sense why they had to get rid um, of Stanley Kubrick because very quickly because he was wanting to say something. He was doing something with message,
Yeah.
you know? And whenever there's something of actually, you know, it's actually funny you said Eyes Wide Shut because this leads back to Brittany because um, Britney's last music video, Slumber Party, she said she wanted to go for an Eyes Wide Shut theme. And people, she was in the interview for it, and people were analyzing that interview like she was trying to say something without having to say anything. But she was inspired by Eyes Wide Shut for some reason. And she's always been someone that has done hidden messages. Back in the day on her website, she would do a lot of very cryptic things, like a lot of very cryptic things where she was trying to say stuff about the industry. And she actually has an unreleased album called Original Doll, where she was, and she, which was about exposing the industry.
Right.
And this was right before she had this is before she shaved her head. This was before she had the meltdown and stuff. This was before 2007. But she released the first, she pretty much went against her label to the radio. I think it was On Air with Ryan Seacrest
Oh,
at the end of
yeah,
2004.
the Mona Lisa thing too. She was saying something about,
Yeah,
but she
yeah,
went on
yeah.
the show herself and went and started promoting her own separate album, and she got in big shit for that too, didn't
Yeah.
she? Because it was like a random radio
Yeah.
show. She just showed up, and they're like, "Absolutely, we're giving Britney Spears the mic." Like, of course,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, going
exact. This was
against
in her
them,
peak
yeah,
time. Yeah, so then she said the album was called Original Doll. And she kept teasing things on her website during the year of 2005, like
yeah.
the song Rebellion,
Well, it was right
which there are
before
conspiracies
Blackout,
this
wasn't it?
before Blackout. Yeah,
Just
well, this
before.
was supposed to be the fifth album. Yeah, this
Yeah.
was just before. And Rebellion actually was supposed to be on Blackout, but that was cut. And the
Go
label wouldn't
figure.
release it because apparently there's a lot of revealing things in that song. There's a whole, you need to like look up analytic videos about that, but it was going to really be like the first of its kind, where it was like it because I did okay, by the way, I have on my YouTube channel the Miley Cyrus Can't Be Tamed album retrospective, and I deep dive into the lyrical deep dive into that album and the whole concept and themes and the lyrical content of Miley Cyrus literally revealing things about Disney while she was on the Disney label. This Britney Spears was gonna do something similar to that years prior, and then but that label didn't approve of it because it was very anti-industry based, and a lot of
Yeah.
the content was very anti-industry based. So then she eventually had to. She eventually just was like, I don't give a fuck anymore about this. But then she released Blackout, and Blackout was like she is just, and she's that. I think that's the only album she like actually like executive produced herself. To be honest with you,
Is that the
which
one?
is
Is I'm a Slave for You on that one? On
no,
that
no,
album?
that was
No.
before. That was
Okay.
before. No, it's like give me more piece of
Oh
me,
yeah.
break
Okay.
the ice. Um,
Okay.
songs like that are on
I
there.
was
It's
just
a
trying to think
really
of the
good
timeline.
album.
Yeah.
Slave for You was 2001, which is which that one actually has a lot of revealing. That was the first album where she started co-writing stuff
Mm-hmm.
a lot. So it had I'm a Slave for You. It had a song called Overprotected, and the label did not. Fun fact about Overprotected is she was going to perform that in her last residency, but her team did not want her performing that whatsoever.
Right.
They were trying to cover that up. And then also on that same album, there's a song called Cinderella, which is about her story essentially, and it's a very it's this the song says speaks for itself in a lot of ways. So,
Yeah.
um,
Well, it's the
but
only
she
way
did a lot of
though.
songs with message.
Like that's the only way they really
Yeah,
can speak their mind is to do it like covertly or cryptically, right? So then it does come out in their songs or in like the music videos, like with Justin Bieber with that Yummy video. Like looking back, we all know what the fuck he was trying to say then, right? But
yeah.
oh, that's weird. Okay, sorry. Somebody was just mentioning in the chat about this Flight of the Navigator kid, Al Davis. I
Al
brought it up.
Davis.
No, Al Davis mentioned it in the chat, and he was mentioning about this Flight of the Navigator
Oh,
movie. So I brought it up on the side while you were talking, and I hadn't looked at it yet, but I glanced over it. It's the same distribution company that keeps coming up in all the dirtiest places.
right.
So yeah, no, I'm gonna put a pin in that, Al. Sorry, and not to cut you off here, but I wanted
I
to.
actually I'm looking up this movie right now, and it's just like I saw like this on like Disney Plus the other day
Did
actually, but I
you?
didn't watch it. But
It is
I just saw like the
Disney.
poster for it.
Yeah.
So I think I
Well,
saw it somewhere. I think it was on Disney Plus.
well, because yeah, they're loading up all the old stuff, right? But this was the Buena Vista. I don't know this Buena Vista distribution and Buena
Buena
Vista Pictures. It
Vista.
keeps coming up, right? Like even right.
Yeah,
Um,
I know what Buena Vista Pictures
You know
is.
about
Yeah.
it. You know about it. But yeah, no, and this guy, he's Canadian too. He's a Canadian actor, mid '80s.
Oh,
Flight of the Navigator. He was born in Vancouver, so this is like this is on West Coast, but it's still Canadian.
oh, I see.
So no, I'm gonna put a pin in that though because no, I don't have that on the map, and he did have some issues I can see. Like yeah, he has
Mm,
struggles. It's another one
okay,
that's
I
had
see
some
what you're saying.
struggles. It's probably another orange dot situation, but I'd have to dig in a little more. But we know Bug Hall had said
Yeah.
what he had said about like a lot of the movies he ended up being trespassed upon on were Disney adjacent, and it's all around the same time, right? So I'm just first glancing, I'm like, oh yeah, there's dark here, like without even clicking anything,
Well,
where they're looking too far. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, we'll put a pin in that. But sorry,
okay,
go ahead, continue.
one thing to add to that is that there was a documentary that I'm just looking at his profile right now, and there's a documentary from 2020 about Joey Kramer called Life After the Navigator. So it really talks
Oh
about
yeah,
his struggles and stuff. So that's something that I think would be a good like um like a good review, retrospective, rewatch,
yeah.
whatever the case may be, to dive into, just see what that's about with the
Well,
movie and then the post after
yeah.
the fact.
We might fit into like the Dark Child Star Nexus stuff because I literally am just about to get back to this one video I was working on, which is actually another Canadian actor. But back in December, I had videos that I was like partway through when the Nick Ryder stuff all kicked off. So then I kind of just left them
Mm,
hanging. So now that I've got the first couple episodes of that out, and we're kind of awaiting the trial, and like I'm gonna start getting the next few episodes together. I do want to go back and wrap up some of those videos. So to put another pin in a next episode of that for the Dark Child Star Nexus, like that wouldn't hurt that way either.
yeah.
Like I'm starting to get things a little more organized and starting to get. But I want to do this Feldman video too. Like I literally have sticky notes all across my bookshelf right here because I like just went down the rabbit hole the other day and ended up like
Oh my
he
gosh.
brought it on himself. He Barbara Streisand himself in a way because I wouldn't have even looked this close. But I watched the whole Two Corys and his documentary and like the old one, the new one, whatever the heck there was. There was a couple different things that I wasn't aware of until I looked. But I made all these
Oh,
notes
you
of like
watched the movies?
yeah, and then
The
every
Corey ones?
show, the Two Corys, that it was a series. It was like two
Oh, the
seasons,
reality
and
show.
every episode basically I've made little notes and timestamps of like how much of a bad friend he was. So I want to do something with that at some point too.
Oh.
Because there was some like
with Corey Feldman.
yeah, like there was some symbolic fuck you stuff in the background I was noticing too. That he was doing while they were filming the show. That with he was being an asshole on the surface, also like directly. But there was all these things that I don't think people would have noticed right away. That I didn't notice right away either. I was going back to like, to double check some of the timestamps and stuff because I was like, you know what, he mentioned this thing again. I actually do want to keep that, and so I went back to like get the timestamp. But there was stuff in the background that it was like kind of like, what do they call it, like a dog whistle or whatever, like with narcissists, where it's something that nobody else will pick up on it, but for that one person, the fuck you to that one person, they'll pick up on it. And it circles back to the Reiner thing, which is ridiculous because, like, for instance, there's a scene where he's basically telling him that the industry doesn't want him, like that he's trash kind of thing. And they had been, one of the last movies they were in together was supposed to be that Dickie Roberts, and it was with Reiner and David Spade and whoever, that the Dickie Roberts former child star. And Corey Feldman got kept in for the part, like they were all supposed to be in this old child actor segment together, and Feldman got kept in for the part, but Haim didn't. So then they're having this conversation by this pool table about how, the industry doesn't want you and you're this, that, and the other thing to Haim. And in the background, it's like he's got this poster making sure it's going to be in the view. Like, like the placement of it just seemed very like, fuck you. Like, just to like reiterate what he's saying to him on the front end, where when he goes to watch it back, he's like, yeah. And then there was that movie they cut me out of for no fucking reason. And all the other child actors got to be in it and I didn't because, yeah, maybe I'm a piece of shit. You know, it was almost like trying to reiterate that he's a piece of shit so many times, like on the front end and the back end, which was like, I don't know. So I do want to, I do want to go in on that a bit more because, like, speaking of symbology and just things that, like, you wouldn't necessarily know it on the surface, you know?
So based off, like, your watch with that, is it Corey Haim was more, like he just hated Corey Feldman? Is that what you're?
Well, they're supposed
to, like, in some way, or jealous in some way.
I think Feldman was jealous of Haim, and I think he was trying to push him down a lot of the time because later in the season. So this is why I went back to grab stuff, because later in the season, basically the people were like, "Well, we want you guys, but if Haim's not coming, we don't want you. Like, we are not doing it." Where Feldman's telling Haim that, oh no, they don't want you, and I told them I wouldn't do it without you. And then he's ended up, like, being able to backwards talk him into doing this, like, Lost Boys 2 thing, or whatever the heck they were trying to do. So it was just very, like, gaslighting, and, like, but telling him he's such a piece of shit and just tearing him down, where, if anything, Haim was going to be Feldman's re-entry into the business at that time. But he spends, like, the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? But sorry, go ahead.
No, I could say no. I was just about to make a side comment. I could say something very shady about Feldman.
A snide remark about Feldman. Well, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, we don't, like, I'm not
just like, that's not unfamiliar that he's all about, you know.
Well, I've heard that from people, that he is very opportunity oriented.
He loves the fundy, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's like he's willing to throw a friend under the bus if it gives him an opportunity. Which, perfect example is, like, we were talking on Twitter, and he pretty much comes right. He admitted it that he also thought that Stand By Me was, what was his words? On the verge of homoerotic, and it's involving kids, right? The scene in Stand By Me. And that, that old dirty pervs or whatever he said. I'd have to look exactly what his wording was. But yes, that it caters to a certain audience, and that it was on the verge of homoerotic, and then it's children, right? So he's admitting to that. He agrees to that. We had a back and forth. All good things. But then when the 40th anniversary tour of the Stand By Me is happening, I ended up bringing up, because he's like, oh yeah, Stand By Me, I'm going to go do the thing. And then I'm like, well, that's interesting, considering not only River Phoenix, but, like, let's also talk about Nick Reiner, right? Blocks me. So I'm like, oh, okay, we can talk about it, but we can't talk about it. Like, I'll run with it about Haim, but River Phoenix isn't as important, and the whole Nick Reiner thing, we're just going to ignore that because you want to go on your fucking tour.
River Phoenix and Nick Reiner, he blocked.
Yes. So then that's where it was like he Barbara Streisanded himself, because I was like, oh, maybe you're kind of a piece of shit then, because, like, how would you be saying full on that it was catering to a certain audience, and it could have been harmful to you and your friends, including River Phoenix, who died very young, like 23, but you're going to go flip side because you got invited to do the tour. You're going to go on tour to do the Stand By Me reunion, the 40-year reunion or whatever. So now you want to pretend like you're totally cool with it.
You know, okay, I'm gonna make that side comment.
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna just make that side comment that I was gonna make. You know, back, I know someone that had an experience with him, and this was back. This was like in the 2010s, like 2018, 2019, when I was doing all the Dan Schneider deep dives and stuff, and a lot of the people that were in the media and alternative media and stuff and like YouTube shows. I remember a lot of us would call him flexible funding Feldman because he was always looking for it because he was trying to find, he was trying.
Sorry,
That's
it's
right,
flexible funding Feldman. I like
That's
it.
literally
It's got a ring to it. It's got a ring to it, but it's not a good thing. But it's got a nice little ring to it.
It was merged from Revenge of the Sith that came up with that.
Yeah,
but,
love it.
Anyways, but like, cause he was trying to come up with money for a documentary that was similar to Open Secret, but was his own, and he was trying to get
the two Corys. The truth, my truth, the two Corys or whatever, that documentary, the first one.
Yeah. It was not. I don't know. Like I don't know which one. Because I'm sorry, with his Twitter, he's typing. He never turns off his caps lock. So I don't know what the.
It's all numbers and letters. Sometimes it's like
literally I don't know.
It's like MSN. It's 2004 MSN plus some other dialect that's not known to man yet.
Yeah, literally, it's like a 10-year-old, but doesn't know how to use the internet sort of thing. So I just don't know how to read his Twitter. I actually need a break when I don't know why he's typing like he's yelling at me. Yeah. Like, if you're typing in all caps, I'm already 500% done with you.
And this is why I thought I was getting somewhere with him, because he talked to me normally about it. Like, I think I sent it to you too, but yeah, he was like talking to me like a normal person. We had a good back and forth. We had a back and forth about Stand By Me, and like I was asking him, like, do you think that these scenes would have had an impact? Like, just the scenes alone, like, let alone that people do get things happening to them. Like, he's out here talking about it happening to him, talking to him. So why can't we have the full conversation? Like, you're having the full conversation with me, but then as soon as you're given the ticket to, like, oh, come circle jerk about Stand By Me and let's talk about Rob Reiner, now you want to pretend like, oh, only these friends matter when it benefits me, but these friends, if it's going to go against me, I can't talk about it. Like, so why was Haim important? Yeah, why was Haim important, but River Phoenix wasn't? Where River Phoenix, like, if anything, they were like, it's same. They both started movies together, you know?
Bro, that is so gross because, like, okay, I'm just gonna say this. Even if I've had, like, a really bad relationship with an actor or someone, or, like, someone I worked on set with, and I haven't gotten along with everyone that I've worked with, and that's normal and that's fine. But even if there's someone where I'm at, like, dead split ends with it and stuff, I would never, if they went down in a way, I would never try to, like, disregard that in a gross way where it's like they don't matter sort of thing.
Well, yeah, it's like it's very selective. Like, it's either all the kids you care about. It's kids too. Like, his little hashtag was kids too when the Me Too thing was happening. He's trying to speak about, oh, the predator problem in the industry. Oh, this, oh, that. All this stuff. But then very selective of when he wants to talk about that. Of like, oh, but not when we talk about this wonderful Wizard of Oz, because I might still get opportunities if I speak well about these people, you know? Which, like, it just seems greasy to me, because it's all kids.
Yeah.
Or you're just in it for yourself, right? Like, why would you run with it with Haim, but you won't, like, you know? And then they did this one interview I saw, and it just, like, it really bothered me, because it just seemed very, very performative in a way of him being so sad about Rob Reiner and all this stuff, when you literally just agreed that he made content that allowed, like, that gratified adults, and your friend who starred in that movie is no longer with us, but you're going to talk about, like, you know, it just seemed really gross. And then with the other character, Will Wheaton, was also in that movie, and the very next movie, which I'm sorry guys, this is kind of repetitive because I feel like I was just talking about this with Jamie Deluxe too, but this part, it just really bothers me because it's like you see it's a pattern over and over again. It just keeps revealing itself. But with Will Wheaton, right after Stand By Me, so as if to further confirm the TW theory for me, the movie after, they paid him a ridiculous sum of money up front to fly him, his sister, his whole family out to Italy, which I think actually maybe it was you who I was just talking about this with, the overseas shooting and stuff.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
Italy,
yeah,
so yeah. So maybe it was you who was talking about it, and so maybe it's not repetitive for you guys because this was a private conversation, but it doesn't have to be private. This is fine. But he got flown out. They did the whole thing, and it was in Italy. And so, yeah, the laws of protecting the kids and everything is really bad. But same idea. It was a TW theory movie. They got him into tighty whities right off the bat, and then it was basically trauma through the whole movie. It was the most traumatizing movie he'd ever been in, and he didn't want to be in it. He had was so very against it. He didn't feel good about the people. He didn't feel good about the material. Like, he didn't like the content of the movie. He didn't like anything about it. But they all teamed up on him because the family's like, oh, this is such a great opportunity. We'll all get to go on a vacation to Italy. Your sister's going to get to be in a movie. Don't you want your sister to have the same opportunities as you? All this bullshit. And then they're using him as a piece of meat, basically. Putting him in the same kind of movie, which, honestly, felt very much similar to, like, the Clown House type stuff. And even the Willies, I started that, couldn't finish it, got partway through it. That? I started it, and then I was like, no, not today. Not today. But it's got this gross vibe. Like, when you know that they're a predator, it's gross. So for you guys that don't know, the Willies was a horror movie that was created by Brian Peck, who is the guy that we were just talking about, Drake Bell. So gross, right? But some of these horror movies, it's not about the movie itself. It's not about the horror itself. Like, it's not about the quality of the film. It's about the opportunities to put these kids in really fucked up situations, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's them exploiting their acting to put them in
or in stages of undress,
I feel like I'm gonna vomit. I feel like I'm gonna vomit just even like saying that, like is just like, oh my god, and it's so gross. But it's crazy that I was actually gonna ask you, do we know what Corey Feldman and River Phoenix's French, like, did they even have like a real friendship, or did
not
they hate
really
each other? Do we know any information about that?
Like, at the same time, I don't think there was any animosity by any means, but I think that Feldman had gone on to do more movies with Haim. Like, they became the two Coreys, right? So I think, and then there was the Alfie Soda Pop Club, and they had all this other stuff going on, which that's so funny. Right as I was saying it, somebody in the chat said Corey's and Alfie Soda Pop Club. But there's a delay, so they're not going to hear me saying it just now, but I could see their comment pop up, so that's funny. But yeah, so they were all doing that, and they were getting really hard into the drugs differently, and I think it was just different circles. Like, he was more in the music scene, River Phoenix. He was hanging out, like, with Red Hot Chili Peppers, Johnny Depp, going to the Viper Room. So it was just a whole different scene. Like, he was already doing the adult thing, very more adult. Like, he grew up way faster, I think, so he was hanging out with people, like, 10, 20 years older, where Feldman was still hanging out, like, with his age group more so, and then they had the predators surrounding that, obviously, but River, I think, like, River had a whole different story too. Like, River had stuff almost more similar to Bug Hall, where he had things happen to him even before entering the industry, which made him more vulnerable within the industry. And so he was very much an adult at 10 years old in this movie, where everybody else, and they even said it, like, all the other guys in the movie were like, we always looked up to River. He was the more grown up one, and he was only like a year older. But he was, the tougher, more street smart, more experienced guy, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, also, by default, then that makes sense why, just that, it makes sense why Corey does not want to doesn't really have a connection.
It's not an excuse though. It's not an excuse though, because Bug Hall has spoken out very fondly about Brad Renfro and about the situations and how he didn't realize they had that much more in common. That he always thought Brad Renfro was so tough and but then felt so bad that he hadn't been there in kind to be supportive as a friend, right? Like, that's how it should be. Where Feldman is like, he
That's how
won't
it should be.
he won't acknowledge that there was probably also something happening to River. Like, he'll acknowledge that River died, and he'll acknowledge that it was sad, and we worked together and we loved each other, like we were such a great group. We were all best buddies.
Well,
like, he speaks fondly of him,
like that.
but not acknowledging that he also had stuff happen to him. Like, the predator part of it, of, like, you don't want to acknowledge, like, you full out acknowledge that Stand By Me is a material that could bring harm to children, that people might be gratifying themselves to it, which inherently is bringing harm to the kids, because you're attracting an unwanted fan base. So he can acknowledge that, but then not acknowledge that could contribute to River Phoenix, how he died, or what happened with Nick Reiner. Right? Like, just seems two-faced. It seems two-faced and, like, opportunistic versus doing it for the right reasons, you know?
Because also it's like he's always talking about Corey Haim and what Corey Haim went to, and now that because I would have said, okay, maybe he doesn't want to speak about other people's trauma, but he has spoken about Corey Haim's trauma
a lot, and just in general,
he utilizes that to the full extent. And I know we don't really talk about River Phoenix, like, there's not that many conversations because it's been so much time has passed, but still he was an initial part of this, and it's like, you know,
so he's the beginning of the end for me. He literally, like, my Dark Hollywood videos started to be around that situation, because he seemed like the perfect intersection of, like, with his upbringing, what it kind of said, like, with the programming, and, like, there were certain elements to it that stood out to me that I could touch on all the things I wanted to talk about that I wasn't allowed to talk about at the time. So the first couple documentaries were about him, technically, but it was like Red Hot Chili Peppers and Johnny Depp. But I'm technically talking about everything surrounding the River Phoenix situation, right? So that was like the beginning of a lot of this stuff. Like, when I was hitting a brick wall, I couldn't talk about the of it all and, like, the dissociative stuff. Like, I was really trying to go for the jugular at the time. Couldn't talk about that. Went into the other direction to the Dark Hollywood. But River Phoenix is the beginning and the end, because then now we have the Nick Reiner thing. And then this all happened, like, right after I did the TW theory. I wrote the TW theory article originally early November 2025, and with Stand By Me being one of the more disturbing, the most disturbing example, and with reference to River Phoenix, then the Nick Reiner thing happens a month later. So then it's, like, further confirming that. So this just brought everything full circle. So, like, and that's why too, though, because I feel like it's so long ago, most people weren't talking about it anymore. And it's like, this is what we need to be talking about. This is it. This is the perfect example of what's wrong in the industry. And this is exactly what, you can't forget about it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And also, if there's, like, a re-release of that movie and you're not bringing up River Phoenix, then that is, and not acknowledging that.
Well, they did, but the way that it was very performative, and then, like, not, and being avoidant of the reasons why, like, pouring right into the narrative of, he had problems, the drugs,
in the room.
The whole thing, like, ignoring the big elephant in the room, like, speaking about it as if, like, without the awareness, you know, he spent all this time trying to raise awareness about predators in the industry, and then it's staring you right in the face, and you're going right along with the program to protect this wonderful Wizard of Oz, because it could stop you from having opportunities, because at the end of the day, you still just want to have your opportunities to get back in the industry. Not that you actually care about the predators in the industry. That, yes, that the Corey Haim thing has been nothing more than leverage the whole time. Not because he was trying to reveal anything, but only because it served him. Right? Like, that's where I'm at with it. That's how I'm feeling about it. With the recent interviews, and then looking back to even how he went about the Haim stuff, like, I'm his best friend and we're all trying to help him, and but realistically cutting him down and, like, narcissistically abusing him, really, for lack of any better terms. Like, there's no other way to put it. It was very gaslighty, very, like, and ganging up on him, like, had the wife ganging up on him and stuff, and they were, like, just bullying him the whole time. It was really fucked up.
Oh.
It's really fucked up going back. I'll send you, I might hate that. I'll send you a link, because, like, maybe we got to circle back to it at some point. I know I do want to do a little video about it, but, like, it's a conversation I want to continue to have, because I think that he brought this on himself. Had he not turned around and, like, fully confirmed what I'm saying, but then block me because, but we're not going to talk about it in relation to River Phoenix and Nick Reiner, though. That, yes, I'm going to agree that that's the situation, but no, we're not going to consider it when it comes to, you know? So then I
Oh
looked
my
into it, and
god.
now I'm seeing it a different way because I'd always considered him like an ally in this good fight, you know, because he kind of is in a big way. Also, he
Yeah.
has raised awareness. He has spoken out uh,
Yeah, he
throughout
has.
years,
Yeah.
right? So it's like I don't know. It's a tough one.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I just went on his Twitter and he's like promoting his like Kids Choice Award performance from like 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Gross.
And I'm just like, wow, he's promoting Nickelodeon considering what has come out
Gross.
about
And
that.
you know what's even
See,
worse?
this is why he's such
Yeah,
an
okay, and
opportunist.
this is where it makes it worse because on the two Corys, Corey Haim had set up a thing where they were going to go to this acting school to go do a presentation for the kids about like the pros and cons of child acting. And he had set it up as something they could do together that was like a positive thing. Like Feldman went off on him like, no, I don't support kids in the industry. No, nothing about the industry is good for kids. And he goes off on this whole fucking tangent. And Haim is basically like, well, yeah, like we're supposed to like let them know like that it's not all great, like that there's good and there's bad, and like we're going to be real with them. Like that's the point, right? And then Feldman just tore him to shit. Like anything he was trying to do that was like that he would felt would be a good impactful thing and like a positive thing and to be his anti-drug at the time because he was trying to not do his pills and stuff, right? He just shot
Yeah.
on him. So but then you're going to turn around and you're going to push the Stand By Me that you agreed that you admitted was semi-homoerotic with children, and then you're also going to push this Nickelodeon shit, which like sorry if we don't you didn't get the memo just yet there, bud. We've all been here knowing Nickelodeon's fucking weird, so sorry, that
Yeah,
just set me off. I
exactly.
didn't
And
mean
I
to
think
like
I
yell
even
at you.
remember him on. I think I even remember him like talking about Quiet on Set and like what like he said something on Twitter about it. I think I remember, and I might have retweeted or liked it before. I can't remember what he said, but this was back when the Quiet on Set documentary came out. So. Correct me if
Well,
I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, because I'm just saying
he
allegedly,
probably did
but
because he's
he
come
was
out.
very outspoken.
He yeah, and he's talked about like Bob Villard and stuff too. Like he was like going right for the jugular for a minute there, and I'm like, yeah, this guy. And then yeah, then there's the 40-year anniversary Stand By Me, and then he just did a total 180 because he's like, oh, I'm gonna get to go be part of the thing. And then he was upset that he got snubbed from the Oscars memorial for Rob Reiner or whatever, and the other cast members from Stand By Me got to go, or some shit. But it's like, but you literally just told me how
Well,
harmful that shit is. Like you literally just admitted it. So why are you?
yeah.
Yeah,
That makes zero sense. That makes zero.
so it's
He's
just
so that's
gross.
flexible funding That's flexible funding Feldman. That's literally flexible
Yeah,
funding Feldman's
yeah,
brand, and that doesn't surprise me. He did all this because that's very what he's known for doing with people in these communities. Like he is very known for just exploiting them, and if there's not the almighty dollar on it somewhere, there's not a paycheck being formed somewhere for him,
yeah,
he has no interest in really staying on that hill for long. He
yeah.
will jump the hill
Like if it works for
when it
him,
gets too much.
yeah. If standing on the hill works for him, then he'll be there. But yeah, exactly, if as soon as it's gonna prevent an opportunity, which that's what bothers me about it. That's where I'm like, you're not a good person. And then just the way he treated Haim, like looking back seriously, I'm like, I'm almost taking it personally because as a fellow Canadian, like you treated this guy so dirty, and you were supposed to be his friend, like you were supposed to be best friends, and he did him so fucking dirty. And then so now, you
Yeah.
know, with all things considered now, I'm like, he's just like, I don't know. It's just disheartening because, you know, you think you're getting progress in this good fight, and then you got somebody you thought was like an ally in the fight, like going rogue almost, or like betraying the battalion. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes total sense and everything. And it's quite sad about it how um you know, how this all transpired and stuff. And it's like him trying to rewrite history with how his relationships were with a lot of these people and stuff. Um, oh, it just sends a shiver down my spine. Like, I don't know, like it just sends dark spirit in my spine for some reason.
Well, because you're
Um,
feeling the darkness. It is. It feels like
well,
that. Like I felt
yeah,
rotten
I want to.
watching it. You're like when you watch the two Corys, you're gonna feel the rot and why you felt it already. Because you're like you're getting the transmission. Because it puts knots in my stomach. Like I feel gross about it. Like re you know rewinding it in my brain, you know, thinking about it, it's like it's making me feel uncomfortable already.
Well,
you know,
have you seen?
You got the transmission.
I'm more so thinking about Corey's like music performances. There's one on the Howard Stern I'm thinking of, and there was one on the Today Show where he was like always with like angels around him, but he was playing the devil.
Oh yeah, his
Have you
new
seen
documentary. He's kind of silly because that part they touch on that in the documentary, and he ends up going viral because of it, because it was such an awful performance on the one like Good Morning show or Today Show.
Yeah,
it was awful, but he thought he was getting all this traction because like everyone was loving his stuff, so he's walking around acting like he's like, yeah, I'm going viral, like I'm back, I'm so back, like oh it's awesome, you know. But literally the whole world was making fun of him. So I almost kind of felt bad for him at that point, because I'm like, oh, you're just like you're just a simple guy. Like you're not all the way there. You're missing the cues of what the reception is, what this viral is. Like it might be looking good on the numbers for you money wise, but the whole world is making fun of you right now. Like I almost felt bad for him at that point. But then I remembered how he was treating Corey or Haim. So. They're both Corey, but you know what I'm saying.
Honestly, any publicity is good publicity. If it's making the money, it doesn't matter how
but the way he played it up though was as if it's all good. It was all good, right? And I'm like, oh, dude, like the whole world was cutting you up big time. And then he was showing up for these other performances, and like they were expecting him to bomb, but he was taking it so very seriously. But then this is what makes it worse though, because he was very abusive to the Angels, to the other women in the band and stuff. He was really awful to them, and like taking it so seriously. Like this is my career, like I'm doing, like this is my music career, and it's so serious. But it wasn't. Like everyone was making fun of him. So, like, I don't know, it's such like a, I don't know, in one hand I do feel sad for him a little bit, like, I pity him, but on the other hand, he's just sort of a shitty person, because, like, I hadn't even got there yet. I'd watched the two Corys, and then I was aware of the other movie he had done, the documentary, but the new one, he did, it's Corey Against the World or some shit. Oh my god, like, and I guess he tried to sue the documentary people, because they made him look so bad, but, like, literally they were just saying it like it was. They had, like, I don't know.
God. It's, it's never good enough for him and stuff. And I will say this. So like I know how it feels to be made fun of with the music stuff, if people don't like it always, or if you may not be received in the best light, and the music may not match your style necessarily. So I feel bad in that regard, like, because he is putting himself out there, and I think it just was to the wrong audience, truthfully. But at the same time, if he's abusing people.
Did you see it though?
The performance?
Yeah, like I hear what you're saying, giving him benefit of the doubt, but like honestly, I don't know. It's like it's just bad. He was trying to be Michael Jackson, but he was not. It was not great.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But because like I'm usually someone that will give people the benefit of the doubt with bad music and bad performances, and there's ways you can enjoy that. But for me, like, it was not even like what he was doing necessarily. It was more so there was just a demonic element to it.
Yeah.
That I felt was freaking me out, and that's when I say dark spirit.
Yeah.
With the angels, like him being around angels, and then him playing a dark spirit. I'm like, what is that? What does that mean? I'm scared as fuck.
Yeah, well, like, because there's the Hugh Hefner thing, too. He was kind of like, he was trying to be Hugh Hefner and Michael Jackson at the same time, and it was, like, a major clash. It was, it does, but it doesn't, but it does, you know? Yeah, but it just clashed. It clashed in a big way, and you could see that coming through the performance, where you're right, too, like, for the right audience, for the right fans, fine, but... yeah, I don't know. Yes to the dark elements, though, for sure, because of, especially with what was going on behind the scenes.
I really think he thinks he's Michael Jackson, because he's actually always thought of himself like that, because even, like, there's, like, a performance from, like, 1991, 1992 on the Howard Stern show. Mm-hmm. He was doing the same thing, but he was trying to be Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
and it looked like a very...
Well, and even his early little music videos, like, there's one that he posted, and it has one of his abuses in it, or whatever, I think is what he was trying to say. That's why he was posting it.
Oh.
But... it was like he had gotten his friends and everybody to do this little music video in his apartment or whatever way back, like around the Alfie Soda Pop Club time. and even then it was very like he was trying to do Michael Jackson, right? So, which I guess I get it, but it's like I don't know, just if that's all it was, I would feel a little more like I would just feel bad for him, and it would be like, just keep trying, buddy. Like, I would be trying.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
nobody
be
gets it
making
right
fun
on
of
the
someone's
first.
art. Like, yeah, and nobody gets it right the first time. Like, I get it, right? But he's also just an
I'm
asshole.
guilty of
He's very
that.
like an entitled kind of asshole, though. Like acting like he's so talented, but
Yeah,
then
that makes
he's
sense.
making an ass of himself, and then he's treating these women very poorly. Like he went through like 3 drummers or some shit because they just kept quitting, and then he kept acting like, oh well,
That's so
they
weird.
can't keep up with the
Yeah.
hype or whatever. But it's like, no, you're an
Oh my
asshole though.
God.
But it's
No,
because you're an
he's
asshole.
being an asshole about it. If he
Yeah,
wasn't an asshole, it'd be fine, it'd be whatever, but it's the way he is being an
well,
asshole,
nobody
like you
was.
said.
Yeah, it was really
For me,
fucked
it's the
up.
behind the scenes
He
stuff.
wasn't. He wasn't letting them take showers. Like with they had to do it as a group or whatever, and with his permission or some shit. Like it
What?
was actually really fucked up. Yeah, I'll send you the thing. It was like I was even like, okay, like this is even next level. Like I already was not impressed with what I saw in the 2 Corys, and I was already feeling a little type of way with the situation, right? With the Twitter situation. But then, yeah, when it started revealing all this stuff about how he had treated the girls and like what they had tried to speak up and
Oh.
how he tried to silence them and act like that they were just trying to ruin his career, like out of spite or whatever. Not that because he was an asshole. Like, no, dude, you're just an asshole though. You know?
Yeah, that's literally what it is, and that's weird that they had to shower and stuff.
Yeah, like he was
He's
freaking out because
projecting.
somebody went to.
He is
It
projecting.
was something fucked up because one of them had gone for a shower on the bus. I don't know if it was to do with water conservation or like I don't even know what. There might have been a reason for it, but the way it came off was very like I don't know, like God complex type shit, you know?
Yeah, he really does think he's Michael Jackson. He really does, and I'm just like, no,
Well, he wasn't even as
no,
close
no,
to
no,
Michael
no, no.
Jackson as like Macaulay and like other kids. Like I feel like he
He
wasn't
wishes he
even.
was.
I think it was more that he wished he. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, and I don't want to just sit and talk shit about him either, because obviously he did go through his own stuff, and he is a product of the industry. Like he started very young, and
Yeah,
like to an extent, it's not necessarily his fault either. But
yeah.
I don't know, just the way he tries to present himself and the way that like his actions and his words aren't matching, and that's what bothers me.
Yeah, I've never had an experience with him like he might things like other than like liking stuff on Twitter, but I've never spoken to him like one on one in DMs ever, so I don't know how he's like, but I know a lot of people that have had experiences with him like you and other people that are in this sphere, and it's always been about like it's always been an opportunistic thing. He's only an advocate if if there's a paycheck attached to it. Is the story is a recurring theme I've noticed with him
Yeah,
specifically. So it all checks out, with what you're saying and stuff.
yeah. Well, it's just too bad because like we do need more people
It
that
is too
have the
bad.
bravery to speak up about it that are within the industry, and
And
yeah.
And honestly, like he has done some like courageous things, but it's just like he would be more successful if he put both feet in instead of putting one foot in, one foot out at all times
Yeah.
and doing it in a very shady way. Like you can the industry, but you can also speak the truth about it at the same time. It's a balancing act. I get it's very difficult, but it is possible to make things work in that regard. So, it's not like impossible, especially since he's a very like well known. It's not like he's an independent. He was like always an independent like performer or actor or anything of that nature. So,
Yeah, like it's just I don't know. It's just like it's a loss. It's like when you have like a double agent. If this were a good fight on a
yeah, that's
battlefield,
how it feels
it's
like.
like he's a mole or something. Like he's not a good guy. He's not one of the good guys, but he was presenting as a good guy. So yeah, it's just a little bit of a loss on that. But I mean, it's whatever. Keep on keeping on, right? But definitely I want to do like a breakdown video at some point here because I made all these freaking notes and I have them all up here because it's like I'm gonna do something with it, but then yeah, I just haven't yet. But I did notice some stuff with some of the last work they were doing together, and just some of the things with the way that Feldman was presenting it was not like on his birthday, like Haim's birthday, and he's there trying to get clean, trying to like he's like doing the humiliation ritual basically, and he like there was a movie called Birthday or some shit that he was in that was like a horror movie. And it was like 2 years prior though that was somewhere overseas. It was some shitty B fucking horror movie. But he like had it out on the table and was like, "Oh yeah, this was just another movie that I was in. Oh, blah blah blah. Happy birthday, by the way." Like I don't know, just like all these little things to get under his skin on purpose, like constantly pecking at him, like trying to trigger him. You know, like I don't know. I don't know how to explain
just
it.
Trying to name drop things.
Like I'm still working and you're shitty and you had to come crawling to me for help. Meanwhile, he's trying to leverage Haim for more work at the same time. You know what I mean? Like it's like he wouldn't have been able to do the show without Haim agreeing to it, agreeing to the humiliation ritual. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I don't know. There's a few examples that really like when you look at the whole. Like once I got through the whole thing, and then I was kind of like reflecting on it, and then I kind of went back and added more things that just like because once you're looking at the overall, I don't know. I feel really bad for Haim. Like he got done so dirty near the end, and it's no surprise.
Oh,
So surprised that he went
yeah.
so deep into depression and like.
Yeah.
It's just sad. Like it was preventable.
Yeah,
It was
that is
very
sad.
preventable if he had just done the right thing and been a friend and not made it into this whole thing. Like he literally told him like I hope you go die. Like I hope you go overdose or some shit at one point. Like where's the quote? Hold on,
What?
I'll see if I can find it. He
He
literally
actually
told
said
him.
that.
Yeah, he told them hold on, I'll see if I have the actual quote here. No, but basically told him like I don't care if you go kill yourself basically is what he was saying.
Oh.
I can't find it. No, it'll be in the video. I'll get the clip when I go back. I didn't write down the actual quote, but I have it somewhere here on a timestamp. I'm trying to fucking find it. Hold on, I have so many fucking ones. No, but he fully like they had this one blowout near the end of the second season or whatever, and he was basically like, yeah, I don't care, go overdose or some shit. And like obviously he was really struggling, and it's like he'd been pushing him the whole time, and then Haim was like, I just don't want to talk to you, like leave me the fuck alone. So he went home, whatever, but then Feldman and the girlfriend showed up and just started fucking hammering on him again, and just like went up on his property, and it's just like they were trying to get the reaction out of him, you know. So he popped off, and then they're like, yeah, whatever, go kill yourself, basically. So I was like, you're just a fucking piece of shit. Like you're a piece of shit. Like this is supposed to be your fucking friend.
Yeah.
Like this is your best fucking
That's
friend.
so.
But basically, because he's
Gross.
trying to talk him into coming to go do the next thing. Like, they were going to go do some next event together or some shit. Yeah, it was just really gross. It was really, really gross. I can't find it because these aren't even in order. I'm going to have to, like, organize these. Because I ran out of room
That
on one
makes me
side.
sick to my stomach.
It is, yeah. No, it was really gross. Like, I was even shocked. Like, it takes a lot to shock me, but that was, like, my mouth dropped open. It was that bad. So uncalled for. Just so fucking uncalled for. Fuck, where is it? Because I can at least say
Sorry,
which
I am like
episode
I
it
am
is.
like speechless with this.
I know,
I'm
me too.
speechless
I
with
was
this.
too.
I might actually be sick if I actually watch this. Like I'm not even joking you because the way he's been advocating and trying to speak about exploiting the way he's been exploiting Corey's situation consistently for his own benefit this entire time for like over a decade longer now.
I found it.
It's just really gross and humiliating. And
No, it
just,
is.
It's like dancing on his grave. It's equivalent
Literally,
to dancing
no,
on his
he
grave,
was,
to be honest with you.
and he took him like he paraded his suffering around for his benefit as a reality show instead of just helping him as a fucking friend too. But okay, so season 2, episode 8, around 18 minutes, he just says, "Yeah, go kill yourself. I don't care," and then storms off because he just wasn't. Like, he told them to leave him alone. He told them to just leave him alone. He wasn't liking staying with them. It was bad for him, so he was trying to just go home. And he was doing his art. He was actually an incredible painter. So he was just minding his business, trying to stay sober. He was painting. And then, it's just really sad. It's just so fucking sad. It's so sad. Like, Haim was the good guy.
Do you think... Actually, I was going to say, do you think there's a part of Corey Feldman that has a guilty unconscious And that's why he's doing all this, because
Well,
he knows how he treated Corey.
maybe, yeah, but
And do you
then,
think
like,
it's
it's also
projection?
why he went off on his bullshit for all those years after. Like, he got into the drugs again, and then he was doing the Corey's Angels thing, and, like, yeah, treating everyone like shit. And there was a
Mm.
whole thing, him and his wife ended up splitting up. Like, there was a lot of stuff that happened after that I think, yeah, the guilt was hitting him right away. And then, yeah, maybe in a way of trying to make up for it, and trying to blame someone else. Like, he's trying to push the blame onto those that abused him as a kid, but then not taking accountability for how he treated them, you know? But then, so then it's just, it further highlights it because you're not going to attribute that to River Phoenix, and River Phoenix dying having to do with what happened to him as a kid. Like, again, with the selective, right?
Yeah, the selective. Yeah,
And
I
then
see
just
what you're
not taking
saying with that.
accountability. He very much wants to point the fingers of, oh, it's all the predators. There were so many predators around. It was the predators that did it to him, not because I'm a shitty fucking friend. And I basically told him to go kill himself at the end of the second season. And then we didn't do a third season because nothing happened after that. Like, he went and just did a bunch of drugs to try to get over how his fucking friend just treated him. While Feldman went off to do whatever the fuck he did. He didn't give a shit. They weren't doing a show together anymore, so
On
why the fuck
national
did he care?
television. They did
And
that
then he
on national
dies. And they did it
television.
on national television, and that was like a year before he died. So he just dumps him off, like, okay, well, you're no good, you're no use to me because you don't want to do the industry anymore the way that I want to do the industry, and you're not, cooperating. Yeah.
That just leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Like, I get if you don't align, like if he wants to do the industry, he can go do the industry, but you don't need to like shame someone for not doing it, you know?
Yeah,
And
well, it's because he needed him.
like
Because he needed him. Because they wanted the
he
two
needs
Corys back.
him.
They wanted the comeback
Right.
of the two Corys. But that was the only thing he could get him to agree to was doing the reality show. Because he's like, well, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to do my life and da 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 da. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, the whole thing is just
That
dirty.
makes
Like, it's
sense.
just
Yeah.
grimy when you look back. Like,
It
I'll send
is.
you the thing. So yeah, you can check it out or don't. Maybe just check out the video when I finish it, so you don't have to go through the whole thing. But yeah, it's sad because it was near the end of the second season too, and it was already like he was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, he wanted to quit the show. He even had the therapist triangulating against him, like, oh, your friend's just trying to help you. Like, everyone's just trying to help you. Meanwhile, like, and then they even showed him the clips. They were even playing back the clips of their fight, and they were siding with Feldman about, like, oh, he's just trying to help you, and you keep pushing everyone away. Like, he literally told him to go kill himself. Why the fuck would he want him around? Why would he want that guy around as your friend? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was really sick. It was sick to watch.
I wonder if there's an even. I wonder if there's like even. You can imagine if they were showing that much, that much in an edited version. I wonder what the raw footage unedited version.
Yeah,
of
what they
things would
didn't
never see
include.
about
Like, if
that.
they let us see that and how bad that was,
'Cause if
yes,
that's the best
yeah,
version, if it's
yeah.
supposed to be showing the best version of themselves, and that's the best they could do, then you can imagine what how much they were protecting Corey Feldman in unedited footage that had never made it to air.
That's
for
so
that show.
true.
So I'd love to see the leak. I'd
That's-
love to see the leak
ugh.
of that.
I almost wouldn't though because I know how bad it is already.
would-
Like, fuck, it's already so bad.
Yeah, that's
Like, I was
true.
shocked. Like, it spent like there was a good handful of episodes where it was kind of flaccid. Like, there was nothing going on.
Okay.
And then it kicks off. It
Like, was
starts
it just
kicking
fun?
off.
Is that
like-
like was it just fun, no drama? Like it was more
Well,
of a fun, no
like
drama.
like
type
he
of
just
show
was pulling
until the
away.
end?
Like, in season 2, I don't think he even wanted to do season 2, but they talked him into it. He was contractually
Oh.
obligated, so it was really like bland. Like, there wasn't much going on. Like, Corey Feldman and his wife were trying to do
Oh.
fill-ins, where she was doing like, I don't know, like they were trying to fill it in for the amount that he wasn't wanting to participate. But by then, closer to the end of the second season, they really started like just going head to head. Like, he was trying to provoke reactions at him at that point because he wasn't participating in any other way, which also was what was bothering me, that he was
Okay.
going more out of his way to try to get a negative reaction because they weren't working together positively. You know what I mean? But it's because he's treating him like shit.
Yeah.
Because he was making him feel like shit every time, all the time. So why would he want to be around you? Why would he want to be hanging out with you and doing things with you when you're just making him the butt end of the joke and you're like cutting him like low blows every fucking episode for like the whole first season, pretty much. Like 2 minutes in, no, okay, episode 3, 4 minutes in, talking about how
Oh my god.
like Spielberg would wouldn't recognize him unless he stepped on him and it was the shit on his shoe or something, and he could smell him or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I don't have the whole quote. He also on his birthday made a noose joke. So again, like season 1, episode 4, like a minute in, Feldman's wife, made a joke about getting him a noose for his birthday. Like, already making suicide jokes fucking 2 minutes out of the gate on the first season.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then, near the end of the second season, telling him to go kill himself. And then we're all surprised that he fucking died, and we're all so sad, and we're gonna go be on a crusade against predators. Like, are you fucked, dude? Like, are we gonna not acknowledge how you treated him?
Too.
Yeah.
You're
a predator. A financial predator. Like, yeah, it was predatory in a different way, and exploitative. Yeah.
Financial predator. I like that.
Kind of, though.
That's
like,
true.
Like, in a way.
It is true, though.
Yeah.
It is true. Like, he's always looking for a paycheck, so, you know, but that is just alarming. That is just alarming. That makes me look at the whole thing a lot differently. Like, I did feel like Corey Feldman was exploiting Corey Haim in some way, but I didn't realize it was like, like, well, it is kind of to the level, but it is like
it's gargantuan,
darker than we think. It's darker than we think.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think everyone knew they clashed, but I don't think anyone actually realized how fucking bad it was. Like the way that they played it off, like reality TV. I don't think anyone really absorbed it at the time.
You know, Corey Feldman is the type of person that I feel is always playing a character and doesn't know when to turn it off. Like, I feel if you were to meet him or be in front of him, he would be playing a certain character. He would not be playing himself. I don't
think he knows who himself is. Yeah, he doesn't, and I think Haim knew who he was,
so
and Feldman
didn't. Character.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why Corey Haim probably was annoyed by that. It's like, we don't always need to be playing in a fucking character. We can just be ourselves, chill, have fun, you know, and that's probably what he was thinking, truthfully. So, but it's like some people like to really push their TV persona when it's not necessary. I'm just like, you need to read the fucking room, you know? Sorry, I just cussed, but
no, it's true though. Like, and it is. He was like playing it up for the camera, playing it up for the show, like. It was just a joke for him. Like, it wasn't serious. Meanwhile, this is supposed to be about your friend's recovery, and you're supposed to be helping him stay clean. Meanwhile, you're giving him every fucking reason to want to do drugs. Like, I wanted to do drugs. Watching him, you know what I mean?
You wanted to,
like, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking smoke a joint or something after this one. Like, I guess that doesn't really count as drugs. But you know what I mean? Like, I was like, you know, I could see why it would be driving him to want to use. Like, you would need to put up with him. Like, if I was having to put up with him in real life, like, and I don't blame him. And not that drugs are the answer, not that that's the way, you know what I mean, but...
I've dealt with people like that, where they had that persona in, like, real life, and I would go to events, and it would just depend on the space. Like, I would literally just play it off, too, but I couldn't be around them for very long.
Yeah,
you know?
like, it just fries the nerves. It fries your nerves.
Like, it does.
Yeah.
And then, well, there's times where I've had trouble, like, turning off a character myself. And I've had times where people could not get to me because I would be playing a character. And it's sometimes, you know, sometimes you can't turn it off. And maybe Corey Feldman just can't turn it off whatsoever. Because, like you said, he doesn't know himself. So I think that's one of the roots to the issue.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Well, he wanted the connection. He was trying to connect with his friend and, like, to heal together. And he was trying to be serious, and he was trying to be, like, man-to-man type shit. But then Feldman was just making it a joke. Or the wife would come in and, like, the wife was just always hovering around, too. Like, wasn't really letting them just have their time. And then when she did, it was like, I don't know. It wasn't a healthy environment for anybody.
No.
Especially in recovery, you know?
Yeah, that was also filmed in a different time too. Like, this was the Anna Nicole Smith, Brittany Murphy time as well, when that was filmed and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so things were looked at very differently, and we didn't take mental health or drug addiction as seriously as we do now.
That's
and
true. Yeah, it was like
sometimes
2007.
2007 was when people looked at drug addiction as lost causes, and people were going to die at any second. They didn't
So
They
definitely,
dehumanize them in a lot of
so
ways.
go tell him to go kill himself. Like exactly though. Almost if only to highlight even why it was bad though. Like I don't know why we didn't see it as bad then because like, yes, you're
It's
right,
crazy that we
but
did because yeah,
you know,
our society was much rougher then, truthfully, because a lot of people would say in those times like stuff like that all the time, even if it was like a joke and stuff. But now
it's
in like
not even
retrospect,
that
it's like
wasn't a
that.
joke. That was them having a heated argument and Corey and or Haim telling him just leave me the fuck alone. Like I want to just do my paintings and like I'm not I don't want to be part of this anymore. And he's like, yeah, okay, well, just go kill yourself then, or something like that. I can't remember exactly, like, don't quote me on that exactly, but basically implying, telling him to go and take, you know what I mean, like, go overdose, or whatever the fuck he said.
Yeah,
However he said it.
yeah, and then that eventually
And
happened.
then that's what happened,
So,
like, not even a year later, you know? So, like, because by the time it was
that's the
airing,
worst part about
you
it, you
know?
know.
So, like, I don't know, like, it's just gross. It was gross looking back, like, and now with
Yeah,
I'm already perceiving him differently with the Twitter thing, and then looking like I
well,
said, he
you have
Barbara Streisanded
experience with him
himself.
now.
Yeah, yeah. Which yeah,
You can speak from experience on that because now you've experienced your communication with him, so you
yeah,
know what he's like, and I can also validate you because I know other people that have communicated with him, multiple people that have communicated with me, and him that said that he exhibits the same pattern of behavior with that he was displaying with you. So it's
yeah,
not surprising, but you know,
yeah. Like I'm
it
not
is what
taking
it
it
is.
personal by any means, of course. Like I know this is obviously it's just the
Yeah,
way he is, right? But it's just yeah, like I said, it's just disheartening
it's just
because
gross.
yeah, it's
It's
just
just gross,
gross.
you
It's
know.
it's like you're not actually on the right side for the right reasons. You're not in this for the right reasons. And it was just a shitty realization because I've like and I've used his clips over time of like him saying stuff because it was like yeah that's true, this is right, like we do need to be talking about this, right? Because a lot of what he said is true, like it's all the real deal with about the predators in the industry, right? But I don't know, it's like a loss, it feels like a loss in a way, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, because you had like hope for him that maybe he was um doing things for the right reasons, but
Well, in opening up to talking about
honest
Stand By Me and to talk about River, like it seemed like I was getting somewhere with that conversation, you know what I mean? And then for him to turn around and then
yeah.
just block me, like we were almost making progress, bud. Like we were making progress, you know, and then he fucking blocks me. So I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, like why are you like that? Like why would you be like that? You know? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because we just need
Yeah,
them to
who
talk about
knows?
it more. Like, this is the thing. We can't talk about the wonderful Wizards of Oz because we can't really speak for these kids, right? We can't speak, especially the ones that are no longer with us. But for somebody that's spoken on behalf of one of his dead friends for fucking decades now, you know, and then, like, you
Yeah, like
dipped a
did a
toe.
book, did a documentary,
Yeah. And then you
did a
dip a toe
zillion things on the
on the real thing, on a
yeah.
real deal, big deal thing, and then, yeah, I don't know. It's just disappointing. It's disappointing. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, it could but I also don't know like what his day-to-day life is. Maybe he does need money and he might be on the edge of survival, but still that's not an excuse. It's just like there's better ways of going about it, you know?
I just well, and I considered that too. Like that's how I was feeling about it at first. Is oh maybe he got like an eyes wide shut warning or something, or he's worried because like you know his family or you know there's other reasons. But then yeah, look, but that I don't know. Looking back on everything, that's when I felt differently about it because at first yes, I was giving him all of the benefit of the doubt because I was like okay, well, you know, you're putting yourself in more danger because you're a more recognizable figure. You've got tour things happening and whatever. They could find you if they wanted to. You know what I mean? It puts you in a little more danger. I get it. But, yeah, I don't know. The retrospective of it all, it's like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like a whole thing.
It
It's a whole
is.
thing and it's
Yeah. Well, when you watch the whole thing, once you watch the two Corys, if you just watch
oh,
that, you'll get
we'll
the
see if
you'll get
we'll
the
see if I want to watch that. We'll see if I want to
fair
watch
enough. Like, yeah, no,
that.
exactly, though, because it is. It's disturbing.
Like it freaks me out. Like,
It's
well, anything
disturbing.
I watch of anything. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Anything of Corey Feldman's that I watch, I'm always feeling like there's a dark spirit, you know. And it's I'm sorry, I just can't. I can't unsee the angel performance. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but I just and him typing in all caps. Like, it's
There's
I don't
something
know with
there.
him what I'm looking at. I don't know what I'm looking at. Like half the time.
Yeah.
So
No, fair enough. Like he's already hard to like put your finger on it if he's not, because he's not himself though. Like because he does play so many different characters, right? So it's like,
he's always playing a character.
yeah. So it's hard to like pin it down of like, who are you really? Like, are you even a person? Like, do you have an identity, or are you just playing variations of characters you've played? You know?
Yeah. That could be what it is. Like he doesn't even know who he is and he's struggling with that and I'm just like,
Where
Jesus.
Haim did though, I feel like Haim did, and he was very sure of himself, and he would stand up for himself, and then like he was just doing his paintings and stuff. Like he had no problem being like, "Fuck you, bud. I don't need you." Where Haim, like Feldman, was just like crawling up his leg, like wouldn't just leave him be. Like it's like, we need content for our fucking show. I can't just like let you go cool off and do your painting and like let you come back and talk to me when you're ready. Like he was forcing himself on him. It was all very predatory.
Also with that, okay, also something with just reality TV in general, sometimes they do. So I'm going to say this with reality TV and with film in general, but in reality TV, sometimes you have a casting call time that you're contracted to do. So we also have to consider that there could be possibly producers that are obliged by the studio that they have no choice but to do a casting call time
I
too,
guess, but
which could
like we're
also be a
talking
part
about
of
his
it.
life, like him trying to get clean, like it's his life on the line.
Yeah.
So I get that. Yes, you're not wrong. Like I
But there is,
understand,
but
but
what I'm saying is there's a reality show factor to this
yeah,
behind the scenes with production, and
but that's what
I
makes it
okay, I
worse, because it's like you
it
obviously
does
are
make it
affecting
for
his mental health. You're obviously fucking pushing him to a limit. You're obviously not helping by any means. So if he wants some fucking space, so he can just go paint for fucking a day and not be having Feldman and his girlfriend sticking their thumb in his ass and in his eye and
yeah.
up his nose and everywhere they could poke him with the low blows. Like you couldn't just like give him a fucking day. You had a
Yeah.
schedule to stick to get your fucking content using this guy's trauma and his struggle, trying to monetize his suffering. You
It's
gotta stick to
honestly so.
schedule of fucking exploiting and fucking riding this guy's ass. Like it's disgusting. Like it just makes it look worse, even like because you're not wrong. It's
Well,
just
yeah, honestly, that's the truth about it because okay, I should tell you guys another time I'll tell you guys about my reality show experience because I filmed it for a few weeks for a reality show. So I know a few years ago, but it never made it to air. And thank God it didn't, because I would have gone bad at it for that, because I know I would have because of stuff that happened on there. But with that being said, reality show producers sometimes will bait you to say things too. And I've been on the end of being told by a reality producer themselves what to say at a certain event.
fine.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I would, and I'm guilty of
Well,
doing that. I would never say something like crazy, like "go kill yourself" or anything.
yeah.
I
Like I'm
would
like,
just
I don't think the producers told him
for
to
the
say
reality.
that, but
I
yeah.
don't think they
Sorry.
said that, but
Okay, and you're not
they will
wrong. Like
bait
I
you in
know,
some
like with
ways.
for Big Brother or
So
what's
and
these other
there will
shows, like you're not wrong.
well,
I know the program of doing the reality show and how the producers,
so
like
there's
even
a
like Teen
whole
Moms too, they would like poke to get them to fucking fight with each other and
yeah
shit, for sure. But when
yeah
you're
that's what they do.
like a
They
hundred
do
percent,
that.
but you think that they would put aside the regular formula of the reality TV aspect when you're talking about this guy's the mental health and him trying to get clean. You know what I mean? Like you'd think that they'd have the morals to put aside some of
I
their
wish they
tactics.
did.
You
I
know?
wish they did.
Like
I
it just
wish
makes
they
it
did.
worse. It just makes it seem worse because that's sort of what I was
But
thinking too. Is like, oh, they're eating this up. Like they're loving this because this is good fucking reality TV. Like no wonder they fucking are pushing this guy to the limit. But like it just makes it
yeah,
worse because like
it
you
does
pushed him.
make it
Did you find
worse.
the limit? It seems like you found his limit there, didn't you? Fucking
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And it's very, I'm gonna like, out of all the types of producers that I've worked with, reality show producers are like the biggest reptilians of them all. I will say that because they
Yeah,
do not give a
cold-blooded.
fuck. They do not care. They do not
Yeah.
care what you're going through, what's happening. If you're not giving them what they need, they don't care. They're gonna find a way to it regardless.
Yeah.
And they don't care what the consequences. They have, and also they're with the contracts you signed on there. You got to be careful when you sign the
Yeah.
contracts with them things.
They have a
like, I'm
fucking
telling you, they're
heart.
the
Forget
biggest.
the contract. Like, I get it. Like, you're not
They
wrong there
don't have
either.
a heart.
But like,
That's the
fuck.
thing. They don't have a heart. They don't have a heart.
But that's
They
what
don't, and
bothers
just the
me. Just bothers me.
well, that's
I don't like that.
yeah, I know. I know you wish they did,
Fuck.
but these people, trust me, these people just don't.
Well,
They
that's
just
what makes it
don't.
grosser, right? Like, that's just what was making it
Yeah.
grosser as you're
So there
watching
could be
it,
a
and then you
producer
know,
factor.
like, there's all these people around, and that there's other people a part of it, and there's other people agreeing, and then like approving what ends up on TV and stuff. Like, yeah, like of course I'm considering these other factors, but then that's what makes it worse. Like it doesn't make it any
Yeah.
better, right?
No,
like
and I'm not
and you're
trying to
it's
make
true.
things better. I'm not
I
trying to
know,
make it
I
better.
know.
I'm just telling you
Oh,
what it is.
rehab exploitation. Al, buddy in the chat just said rehab exploitation, like 100%, 100%, and it's just
Yeah,
it's almost like that show
exactly.
Intervention, but even Intervention, I feel like they had like I don't know. I have to go back and watch some of it because maybe it doesn't have soul either, but.
It doesn't have soul.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't have soul. I'm not expecting, especially
know.
with 2000s reality. Reality nowadays isn't as pushy with that sort of thing. Like they've cleaned it up a little bit, but back then it was off the rails. Nothing was off limits. Reality was
Yeah.
reality. It was more raw. Whereas now they have more of a structure to it. You know,
Like,
where
I don't
you're
know.
fed to do.
Like, because
certain things.
that's some of the shit Desi's covered right now in some of these reality show things, and it's like some Blink Twice shit going on. Like, some of the shit she's covering, it's like on the surface, it's like, I don't know what the fuck is even going on here. Like, this is
Yeah.
like so out of left field of what you would normally be covering, but like the internals of it, it's still very rotten, and it does lead people to addictions, or it leads them to fucking different
it
struggles,
can.
like homelessness and stuff, because they get this big
Yeah.
thing of money, they win or whatever. Like, look at the guy from Survivor, that one guy, and then they exploited him on Dr. Phil, and like just like left a bottle. They knew he was struggling with alcohol, so they left a bottle in the room, expecting him to drink it, so he would be shit faced by the time he got on the Dr. Phil show, and then they could exploit him. You know. So I guess it's always been that way,
well,
actually, because he was super
It has
exploitative.
been, yeah.
Dr. Phil is
It is
a
exploitative.
punk. Yeah.
Like I'm very like when I signed up for reality TV, I was aware of what this was. I was aware that this is exploitative, and I think everyone that was in the group that was filming with me was aware of that too.
Yeah. But to what
I'm
extent,
kind of glad I
right?
didn't go to.
Like, to what extent?
Well, I
Or, like,
don't
are
think-
you playing with
okay,
human
so-
lives, or are you playing with, like, people's emotions? You know what I mean? Like, there's one thing to play with
Yeah.
emotions to an extent, but are you dangling a
Right.
life in the balance? And poking it and cutting at the thread, the one last thread that his life is hanging on? Like, they're trying to
Yeah.
snip at that shit. That's where it went over the fucking line for me. And maybe that's why they make it so hard to
Yeah,
find
that was
it.
too
Like,
far.
I had to go deep into the annals of the
They
internet to
erased it
find
from the
this.
internet.
Pretty much.
Oh.
Like, I had to go deep diving on for this
Oh.
one. And I think it might be on Apple. I'd be curious to see if it's any different.
I'd be
if
surprised
they
if
what
it was
they
on
cut.
platforms.
Well, I think they probably heavily cut it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it was a different cut than the original air cut. I'd be curious to see both versions, actually, because I think that it was
You
saying I could
should.
get it on Apple, but I don't have the Apple thing, so I was like, okay, well, where else? What am I gonna find this? I
Yeah,
don't
where
know.
else would it be?
So yeah. I kind
That's
of like
crazy.
I had to like hoop my own
I'll
forehead to
have to
find
tell
it.
you about my reality experience next time.
Eventually,
To tell
yeah.
you.
Well, I'm not gonna pressure you,
I'm
but
gonna
I
have
know
to
you got stories too. Like both you and Des, you got stuff coming out.
But nobody was telling to kill themselves on the reality show.
Yeah,
that I
like,
was
that's-
filming.
Yeah,
Nobody was saying that.
it's more
Nobody was
emotions,
going
right?
there.
It's more like
It was-
emotions.
okay, I will say it was
Yeah.
It was more like talking about relationships, and it was more lifestyle things. It wasn't anything like nobody. I don't think anybody had a drug addiction, as far as I'm concerned. There was nothing like that even.
Like there was
It
no
was more
threat
so-
to anyone's life. Like there was no threat of harm or violence or like.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to tell you, I did something really stupid on there, but
Here we
but it was
go.
more producer praise, and
Oh
I'm
no.
kind of like I where I kind of looked like the bitch. I ended up looking like the bitch on there because I said something in a group setting in front of everyone, but also I feel this person that was also I feel like I was also baited at the same time, truthfully,
Yeah.
because they were telling me two inconsistent stories about
Yeah.
the relationship, and it was all on film, but then they turned it around on me to make it a moment, to make it look dramatic, and
Uh,
then I looked like a bitch because I looked like I was doing that, but I just asked like a question very openly, and it was done by a producer that told me to ask this question,
oh
and
Lord,
I
yeah.
did.
So
So I was set
manipulated,
up,
100%.
but then
Yeah, 1000%
so,
even. That's rude.
and it was something over a topic that I didn't even know about really. Like I was
Mm,
like I didn't understand it, and I still don't understand it to this day. And then there was also like there was someone on there that was just trying to show off shit that was like they were trying to act like it was Louis Vuitton, but really they bought it from Zara. But people would like do things like that on there a lot of the time. So
well, it's like to, for the
it's a
attention
whole
too,
thing.
right? Like people are trying to get the
The
attention and the
attention.
validation, and
So it was more so in the vein of that. There was nobody doing it, which is more harmless. It's still exploitative, but it was harmless, but it didn't make it to air. So it was interesting reality TV, but it didn't make it to air.
fair enough.
So and it's they didn't like my storyline at all. So and I feel like the stuff about Obscure Nick would have got out if that was the case,
Yeah.
because then they would I'm pretty sure I'd be labeled a conspiracy theorist because in the past, when this obscure Nick stuff got out in dynamics where I didn't expect it to get out, I would be looked as like some type of like conspiracy theorist, some type of like reptilian blogger that just will write talk shit about anyone or whatnot. So,
Well, and if they
you
think,
know,
yeah,
it
if you
gets looked
think
at
you're
like
gonna
that.
be like gonna dish the dirt or something, then of course, like that's gonna make you a little bit like contaminated or whatever to the industry because they would be worried that you'd be coming in and digging up dirt on them and revealing secrets or like, and then if anything, it just
Yeah,
shows how many people
exactly.
have shit to hide. Because if it's gonna get you blacklisted or
Yeah,
whatever to talk about certain things, well, you're just revealing yourselves. You're all saying that you have shit to
exactly. And
hide.
I say the quiet part out loud. I
Yeah.
say the quiet part out loud. And I think the producers on the show knew I would be the type to be the bone carrier, the one that says things out loud.
Yeah.
But you look like an asshole when you're the bone carrier, essentially.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the
I would have
messenger gets
probably done it
shot.
about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So, because I was the one getting screamed at. So,
Yeah.
for saying the quiet part out loud.
But that's what like
But
it's like yeah, which yeah, like you said, it is a little more harmless. Like it's not to the same degree, but it's like how did we even get there that we couldn't like reality? There's nothing real about reality TV. You know what I mean?
no,
Like
there isn't.
there's
There really isn't.
like it doesn't
And I
exist.
could And I could tell with the people on the show, they were all orchestrating and playing themselves up in a way that wasn't authentically themselves. And they had things in place that were, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, and it's really not. So it's just looking more exploitative the way
Yeah.
they're doing it, or they're trying to set you up for something so that you take the bait and then you'll be the one to confront them later down the line.
Yeah,
So
that's actually
there's
so
a
they're making
storyline thread.
they're making a good point in the chat here about it, like that it's like an experiment. It's all human experimentation. That
It
to an
is. It
extent,
is.
yeah, that they're
Yeah,
like
that's
almost to
so
the
true.
point of like yeah, they're comparing it to like the Stanford prison experiment and shit like that. Which in some
You
ways it
feel like an
is.
experiment, Rob. You feel
Yeah.
like
Like
a
when they
lab
got you
rat or
locked
something.
in too, like some of those. Well, because then you can't talk to the outside world. Like certain shows, like they don't want the whatever getting out, so you're like sequestered for all this time until you finish like shooting a certain portion of it. So it's like in a way you kind of are like a caged rat or a caged guinea pig or whatever, right?
Yeah, and I was like signed to that for a while, but then they told me that they're not using any of that. And they've decided
Yeah.
to cut me from it because they're like, we've gone a different way. We didn't want to do as conflict
Rude.
driven. We just went to like fluffy
Yeah.
lifestyle. So I'm just like, well, I could have done that too. I could have
Yeah.
used the paycheck for that. but and I didn't even fucking get paid for it. This was their way of not paying me too.
Well, and it's like when you do the right thing,
So
there's no incentive to do the right thing. Like I know somebody that was on this other show. They probably don't want me to talk about it too much, but so I won't say what show or anything. But that basically
yeah.
they got cut from the show for doing the right thing. Like they wanted the drama of it. They wanted the fucking. They wanted a certain outcome, but they didn't go along with it. So they ended up getting cut from it, and it was just fucking stupid.
Oh, that can happen
'Cause it was
sometimes.
like one of those game shows.
Um,
It was like a game show. So
oh, I
but it was
see.
kind of rigged. It's rigged in a way to an extent, but it
Oh,
was a
they all are.
reality slash game show. So yeah, there was a certain choice they were supposed to make at a certain point, and it was supposed to cause all this drama. But they wanted to do the right thing, so everybody got the right end of the stick or whatever, and it just that wasn't okay. They ended up cutting that
Oh, then
part.
they would want to cut you then. They would want to cut you then. Okay, I'm gonna also say something. The reason why I think the producers knew about the obscure Nick thing too is because when when I was told specifically, they said my storyline was too contrived, and they said I was too like polarizing, and I don't know what that exactly means,
Ugh.
but it makes me feel like they found out something
Oh,
that
maybe like that because you
that I
were.
didn't share yet.
Yeah, fair. Well, and like, yeah, there's no pressure. Like, and you don't even have to talk about like you don't have to talk about anything you don't want to. Like, I think that people can trust that you have the expertise and the authority on the matter, and can just trust and believe what
Well,
without you having to
exactly,
give
but
too
like,
much more
okay,
context.
I'm gonna say this. If that was brought up into one of the settings ever, if this obscure Nick thing was brought up into the settings whatsoever, I would have just owned it. I would have just said it for what it is, because I'm the type of person where I'm just like, I'm just gonna say it for what it is, and I don't care how it's perceived. If you
Yeah,
can accept it,
but
then
they're
don't deal
worried.
with it.
Like they're worried about there being in like some expose or something. Though I feel like would be
Yeah,
the
because I'm
ultimate
gonna be
thing.
because you know why? Because they probably have suspicious behavior themselves,
Right.
and there are some people on there that have suspicious behavior themselves, just
Right.
in a very stupid way. Like it's very
Yeah.
stupid. Like I'm not gonna write obscure Nick about your polyamorous relationship. Like I don't care about that. Like I'm
Yeah.
not spending time on that.
But
Like
that's the
there's
thing. People
nothing
get
juicy
hang-ups.
there.
That's the hang-ups, though. That they feel very like they're trying to be on the down low or whatever, and they're worried that that kind of thing would be talked about. When it's like, no, that's not. It's
They
not
wish,
even it.
to be
It's
honest,
not
they
even
wish.
anything to do with it. But yeah, that's what they
To be
fear.
honest,
That's what they fear. Is like, oh my
well,
god, they
I don't
might
know if
know.
it's not even just a fear, but it's probably they low key want you to talk about it. They wish they were talking. They wish I was talking about it on Obscure Nick, but I don't care to.
Fair, maybe also, yeah.
Because these people are
They're
so thirsty. These
upset. They're
people are
like,
thirsty.
you're
I'm
not
telling
talking
you.
about us on your fucking little thing, so we're upset with you. You don't get to be on our show anymore. You're not dishing the juicy gossip for
They iced
us.
me out. They
Yeah,
iced me out because of it. So
yeah. Rude. That's so rude. Well, and you've told me
I don't
some
even
about
care
it. Yeah,
though.
you've told me some about it, but like, yeah, like it's like I don't know, man. Like woman, sorry, but the industry's just. I always do it. I was doing it to Des too. I'm just everybody's old man
Yeah,
right
I
now.
know.
I'm on
heard
an
that.
old
I heard that.
man. I'm on an old man stick. I don't know why. It's like fuck. I can't even say it's because I'm
That's so
Canadian.
funny.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. But yeah, like it's just it's. I guess it's just like this is where we needed to get to. We have to get to a point where we can review how everything's gone so wrong for so long. Like things have obviously hit like a fever pitch of just depravity and obscurity and hypersexuality. Like things have gone totally, like we're at a point now
Yeah.
that if the only way we can work our way back and start getting to healing, like healing the world, the collective, the society, is to go back and review this stuff and see where we went wrong, And that's what they don't want either. They don't
Yeah.
want us to be like collectively looking at the past and be like, oh, okay, this is where we went wrong. Let's try to do better,
No, we can't learn from our past, right?
Yeah.
We can't learn from our past. So they want to hide it and they want to rewrite history with it. And, that's, but we as humans, we all learn from our past and we all learn from the past. And that's how in history we've learned from our past and that's how we've grown and evolved as society. It's just weird how we've gotten to a point in society where we don't we want to retrogress and not do that anymore.
Well, like I don't.
And
I think I. Well, you're a few years younger than me, I think. But like, I come from a
yeah.
generation where it was like the past is the past. Like leave the past in the past. Like oh, that has nothing to do with now. That was then. Like just get over it. You know what I mean? But like,
Mm,
trauma is long term impactful. Like it changes your brain chemistry and shit. And if all of this stuff is affecting people, and on the front side it's supposed to be entertainment, and it's all this happy land of whatever, like glamour and whatever, but it's causing so much more damage than we realize. Like, well, then now we have a problem, you know. So I think that's where like
yeah.
they like you're right, but this is where they want to prevent it. They don't want us to realize. They don't want us looking
Yeah,
at
and
it,
you
you know.
can't people that say the past is the past are just people that are avoidant with confronting the situation, but also try to say the past of the past for the people who are traumatized. Tell people the past. Try to how are they supposed to? How are trauma victims and victims of ABUSE supposed to just say the past is the past?
Yeah, like the
You
results of the
know?
trauma are still occurring in the present, you know, like yeah, I'm still facing the
Yeah,
results of that. So what are you talking about the past? Like yes, it happened in the past, but the outcome is happening every single day, you know, right? So
yeah, exactly.
that whole like we just have to change all of that because I feel like it was yeah like the concept was to conceal the trauma, to conceal the abuse, to protect the abuser, silence the victim. You know, it's just been the way it was for a long time, and it's
Control the
obviously
narrative.
it's starting to be dismantled. I think more people are starting to have these sort of conversations. Like it's becoming more normalized and destigmatized at least, but like it's all part of it. It's all part of where we like society's gotten so sick. You know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So and it's good that we're having the conversation and that we're actually alive in a place to have the conversations. We're very fortunate to be alive, you and I, and everyone in the chat to be here, being able to have the conversation and destigmatize the conversation too
Yeah,
around these sorts of subject matters
we
because
are here.
we're here.
We are here. We are here. I always think of like Horton Hears a Who. I don't know if you know about that movie, but the end of Horton Hears a Who
I've
and all
heard
the
that.
collective voices together, all the little Who's on the dandelion or whatever, and
Uh,
all their voices together break the sound barrier, so then the bigger animals can hear them and they save them. Kind of like you know,
yeah.
it's like we're all here. All the trauma anomalies. You
We're
know,
all here.
we're
The
all
trauma
here.
novel. That's so
That's,
funny. That's how I'm seeing it now.
yeah. Well, that's sort of what it's feeling like, and the more people speaking up and more people like reactivating again too, like people that kind of had gone on a hiatus, coming back again and getting back into it, and you know, speaking their truths.
Well, you with speaking about this type of content and this type of subject matter, you have to um do that. You have to like disappear and then come back
Yeah.
because it is so heavy, and especially if you're someone who's a victim to this that does this type of work, you have to step away for your own mental insanity, you
Oh,
know?
100%.
And just it's just required. It's part of the routine. It's a required part of the routine where you step away and then you come back and then you step away. Unless you're just like a crazy person that has to post something every day.
Yeah.
But
Well, and like, well, this is what I was just saying with Des too, like, cause she had preemptively set up the next week, like, yeah, we're gonna do it every Tuesday. I'll be back next Tuesday or whatever. And I was like, okay, we're gonna line it up, and we'll see, you know, cause it's like there might be a chance you might not be up for it by then, and that's okay too. Like, if you
that is
like,
okay.
she had divulged a lot of stuff too that I was even a little surprised because there was some stuff she had told me, but she went even beyond some of the stuff she had told me very openly to everybody. So it's like, of course you're gonna need time to like catch up on yourself with that, like recharge. Like we don't have to commit to a fucking every week
Yeah.
thing. Like if you make it, great. If not, like don't stress, no pressure. It's all good, you know. Like
Yeah.
just coming back and doing what you're doing is great. Like you don't have to commit to a whole, you know, and then overwhelm yourself or overburden yourself with it, right? So same for you, right? It's like
Yeah.
whenever we'll work it out, whatever hour, whatever time, we'll find a day, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We worked it out. We find a day, we just pick a day and then we just do it and then we just recharge afterwards, because
Yeah.
it's a lot of things to digest and everything. I admire people who can do this very frequently as they can. I wish I was that person,
You
but
gotta be
I know
dissociated
that
or
it
something. Like, there's like expert level dissociation, or you're just like dead inside. Like, there's no way. There's no way that without pivoting or like having some other, I don't know. There's no
or you
way.
have to survive, or you have to survive off this. Because some people, this is their only form of survival.
Yeah.
So,
But then you gotta pivot.
which
Like,
is
you
not
then you
good.
pivot.
Which is not good,
It's
but
not. It's not. You do have to pivot because you'll go insane, for sure, right? So you have to find a balance. But I guess some people, yeah, it's like out of the desperation too. But then to be in that darkness, like I don't know why anyone would commit to it, and it like I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm a martyr in that way too, though. It's a lot of struggle and obstacles to be able to just do this, and like I've lost opportunities and different things. Like there's probably point of no
yeah.
return too. Like I had a pretty nice life and career before the lockdowns and stuff, and before I decided to just like fully go into this and be like, okay, well this is this was just a hobby, but I don't really see anything more worth doing, and this like I'd rather do this. I feel like this is more fulfilling, but
This is your life's purpose.
at the same time, yeah, you can't necessarily make a living wage on it, right? So you do have to kind of juggle things, and you do have to kind of like skirt the line, I guess, to an extent. But then once you're in so deep, there's like there's maybe no returning. Like once you put yourself to the point. So there's always that fear too, and I guess especially like if you're in the industry too, like you can only put yourself out there so much, right?
Yeah, yeah. When you're balancing the industry and then balancing this, it's like it feels like you're living. It can mess with you. It just messes with you in a lot of ways. So you have to take breaks from each side of it, and then just come back and then recharge and then do the other thing and then come back here and be on the continue. It's a cycle.
Well, and like
It's a
this is where I
cycle.
pivot a lot, and I super appreciate the people that are just follow me along whichever direction I'm going, because I guess like most of you guys know it, it's always going to be about the same elephant in the room. It's same elephant, just different pile of shit.
Yeah.
But I do kind of like I'll be going in one direction, and
Yeah.
then I
Oh,
pivot
because
to another direction for like 4 months out of the way, and then I'll come back to the thing, and and even like the John Bonet, like
it
I've been working on
happens.
that for like 2 3 years almost now, and like maybe by this Christmas I'll have the remaining episodes done. But it affects you, and like you do have to take time in between, because if you like this is where you could put yourself in a psychosis if you're really like looking at the too much darkness all at once all the time. Like you traumatize yourself almost.
Yeah, and I feel like I have done that with some things on here. And yeah, it's like well, it's also like I've also pivoted too. Like I've been doing like the All That season 3 retrospective and been in the works for that um for like 2 years now because I just had to take breaks. I just had to really reframe how I view Dan Schneider's work, and I need to look at the good and the bad of it. And sometimes you do need to find good points in order to get through with it
Yeah.
because you can't, so that's how I've found a healthy way of viewing that show without trying to be like it's like just dance Schneider 24/7.
Yeah.
And I truthfully have found some objective good elements, and I'm trying to look at it really objectively, like at a very middle ground where it can be good, bad, everything. I'm talking about everything in it, and I'm still working my way through that season. I'm on the second half. I'm past, we're almost there. But once I'm there, I might record a little bit of it, and then just as I go along, so I don't have to record it all at once because it's like 20 episode season, so that's even harder. It's not like
Yeah.
13 or 6 episodes, which now most shows are like nowadays. Like I'm doing like when shows used to be 20 episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, back in the day
it's just a hard.
we had substantial seasons. It was like you got an actual good amount of episodes instead of like 8 episodes. But then in this case, it kind of sucks because then it's like a lot to go through.
It is, yeah. It's 23 minutes, which doesn't. See, I have a hard time with movies because I cannot watch 3-hour movies. Like, I am not the type of person that can watch 3-hour movies because I'm just like, okay, whoever thought that was a good thing to do, um, whoever thought it was a good idea to make 3-hour movies as a normal industry standard, that person needs to be gone.
Yeah, I
Like
just
just take it out of
realized.
the industry because
Sorry.
that takes so much. What? Sorry,
Oh,
what?
no, sorry. No, you continue. I realized I had this connected to the wrong thing. Somebody was asking of what this thing was connected to, and I went to go to it, and I just realized I don't know what this is supposed to be connected to, but it's not supposed to be
Oh, the
there.
the mind map.
On the mind
Oh,
map,
the
yeah,
mind map.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh
No, you
no, let's delete
continue.
the
You
mind map.
continue. Well, no, because they were asking. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh,
listening.
sorry, audience.
I was
Oh my
listening,
god.
but then I just
We're on a
noticed that I'm
different part
like,
of the mind
I
map
fucked.
that we don't
No,
even
I
know.
connected. It's supposed to connect to something there, but I connected it to the wrong thing before, so I wanted to fix it before I forgot. But sorry,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
so sorry.
Um,
Continue. I'm so sorry.
but like I was saying, like I don't know who thought making 3 hour movies was a good idea because I am just like I think 1 hour and a half is the perfect length and we should have always kept it that way. 3 hour
Yeah.
movies have so much redundancy that it's just like we do not need to keep this story going. Like we could have ended it perfectly right here at 1 hour 30. We did not need to we this movies have become so redundant in the industry that it's just like I cannot sit through a 3 hour movie. Like I have to watch so with all that stuff, it at least is 23 minutes. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I like that. It goes by quickly. And there's musical guests. And I usually like the musical guests because it's usually like an R&B, 90s R&B artist or
With the
90s hip hop
nostalgia.
artist.
It's nice when there's
That I
like
like.
good nostalgia to go with it. Like then it makes it a little more bearable too. Like because there are
Yeah,
good
like I like
parts of some of this stuff. Like as dark as some of it is, there is still goodness to it, and I guess that's what helps
yeah,
make
I don't
it.
I don't mind. I like that there's like a Coolio performance or a TLC performance at the end of it or whatnot or 112 performance or like I like I'm good with that like I'm like that makes it a little better for me so I'm like I resonate with that so all that kind of goes by quickly like the episodes do go by quickly with them and it's just like 3 or 4 sketches I have to review and then I also have to do the Keenan and Kel retrospective because my audience asked for that because I voted if people wanted me to go through all of Dan Schneider's work so, because I feel his earlier work is much easier to go by than when I get to like the iCarly Victorious years. I feel that's going to be just harder. And I've never watched
Yeah.
Henry Danger or Game Shakers ever in my life, so I don't know what those shows are like at all.
When you were gonna do
I
the
know
Jet
nothing about those
Jackson
shows.
and stuff too, right? Like there's
Well, the Jet Jackson, but that's non-Dan Schneider and
that's
stuff.
true.
But
Oh
I
yeah,
want
'cause
to
that's
watch
Disney,
that. I
isn't
need to
it?
watch that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll probably would like the Jet Jackson more than the Dan Schneider stuff because I won't be like I don't think there's as many crazy things. There's not as many jump scares with the Disney stuff I find. Like they're actually the show. The thing with Disney is that it's more so they gave their stars too much of a workload and they overworked their people. It wasn't necessarily the content itself always, you
Yeah,
know,
their bad stuff
with
was
the
more
Disney because
behind
I
the scenes. It was way more behind the scenes. Like
yeah,
they were way more
exactly.
careful and like it was still more kid friendly on the surface, but then it's like yeah.
Yeah, because I like even like watched like the first episode of Hannah Montana the other week and just to see and it was like I didn't feel as much like with a Dan Schneider show I'm always like on the edge of my seat feel like I'm gonna get some jump scare something inappropriate is gonna happen some innuendo is gonna happen with the Hannah Montana show there was like none of that like it actually just felt like a normal kids show
Yeah.
which I feel more kid shows should be like that. So with Disney shows, I feel like with Jet Jackson, it's gonna be like the same thing where I'm just not gonna have to worry. So I haven't because with the dancer stuff, I'm always on the edge. Like I'm always like ready to like lose my shit.
Yeah. Well, because his
you know?
stuff was there was so much veiled like perverted stuff, like veiled
Yeah.
innuendos and like getting kids doing weird shit like yeah, like it's
Yeah.
unavoidable. That's where it was supposed to go. Oh, I
It's
did have it
it's
connected
really
there.
hard to
Okay.
avoid.
Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out where he was supposed to be connected to because I feel like there was supposed to be a connection there, just not to that thing. Sorry, I am
Oh, in the
listening.
mind map?
I'm trying to clean this up at the same time because I realized I fucked up a spot and that's not great because we can't have accidents or mistakes on the mind map because it's supposed to be precise,
Oh,
right? No, I feel like he's
yeah.
supposed to connect to another thing over here, but I had accidentally connected him to the Cure. Some people were asking about the Cure because that connects to Brad Renfro. But it's Joseph Mazzello is the other kid, and he's still with us. Um, fuck. Maybe there wasn't. But Radio Flyer he connects to. Fuck. It's okay. Never mind. I'll fix it later. I thought it was going to be a little easier to fix. So I just wanted to get it out of the way. But,
okay.
Well, and I've just boxed myself in here, too, in a way. So it's harder to fit things. But I think that's fine. I think I fixed it. And then I added Joseph in there. He's going to have to go in. I think that's the kid in... is it the Jurassic Park? No, maybe not. Hold on. 1 second. I'm going on a side mission here. But you are right though about like the 3-hour movies. Like sometimes it is excessive. Like unless it's like based on a book, I think in some cases it's not too bad. But even then, it's kind of excessive. Like two hours maybe at the most, and then just do a part 2 or something. You know, where I think like. I don't know. It depends, though, because you can get some really good movies, and then you're like, oh, damn, it's over. Like, I wanted to know what was going to happen with... You know what I mean? Like, they could have gone deeper in it.
Yeah, that's true.
It just depends.
But I, personally, I would rather be wanting more than leaving being like, that went on too long, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, fair. It depends, though, because, like, if it's a... I don't know, like certain books, people want more of what's in the book, and there's no way to fit a whole book into one movie without it being like, fair. You know what I mean? So it just depends, though. Like sometimes it's just excessive. It's like why did we need 3 hours of that? Like what the fuck is this? Okay, where's Jurassic Park? Because that's who that connects to. We're making connections here, all the way over there, and I can't spell it. Okay, that's okay. Fuck, I'll have to put him over here. The Jurassic Park kid. That's who that is. Okay. I gotta clean this up anyways another time anyway. Like, I gotta move some stuff around because I've, like... Yeah, there's just no room to put stuff in between anymore, and there's still so much more to put, you know? Maybe he's gonna go over here. He's gonna come over
It's so big now. It's, like, such a... Like, you've expanded so much on it that it's, like... when you're looking at that, you can like type in the search bar, right?
Yeah, you can do like Control F.
And then that makes it easy. That makes it easier. So then I can like just
search
go to it because I think I tried that and it worked and it was like that was very useful to do. Yeah. So,
I'm not gonna be able to connect him over there. Okay, we'll worry about him later because that was why he's not on there. Because to connect him over to Jurassic Park and The Cure. He's gonna have to be outside here.
I love how I'm like, I don't even know what's like going on in the live chat, and I don't even know what's going on the screen. It like feels like I'm just going in with a blindfold doing this. Like,
you're not even watching the thing. Yeah, so you don't even know what I'm doing on the back.
I don't even know what's happening.
They were asking about The Cure, the movie The Cure with Brad Renfro. They were asking who else it's connected to because where I had it hovering over with Corey Haim and stuff. So it connects to Brad Renfro, but then I had Richard Donner connected to it for some reason. I don't think that's what I meant. I know that's not what I meant to do. But I'm trying to figure out what I meant to connect him to, because I know I put it there for a reason. And then while I was there, I was like, oh, well, I should add in that Joseph Mazzello kid, but he also needs to connect to Jurassic Park, which is on the other side of the fucking map, so I'm going to have to move that around probably. I'll probably just move The Cure, because Brad can stay there, and then I can move it over here. I don't know. But I still have to figure out what Richard Donner was supposed to be connected to, because I just connected him to the wrong node there. I don't know. It's okay. It is. It's just, it's gotten so big, it's gotten so crazy, and then, like, yeah, it's so hard finding the space for certain things. Now, like,
because sometimes it has multiple connections.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can only put so much there.
Well, and like with Tom Hanks, for example, like he belongs on two ends of the map. Like he was very involved in the one sphere, but then he did a lot of work with this Zemeckis guy, this Robert Zemeckis with Dark Castle Entertainment or whatever it's called, where I finally, when I got that put in there, it's on the other side. Like I didn't have, like, it connected better on one side of it, but then to connect it back to Hanks is like, it's just, I don't know, it's just, I've made it complicated for myself, so I will have to move some stuff around and reorganize here at some point. But it's okay. It's okay though, because like, yeah, it's people are getting it though, and like I did get it working so that people can view it from all devices, because at first it was like too small and you couldn't zoom in all the way and see it like as close up as I could for whatever reason. It was kind of stupid. I don't know what was wrong with it, but I fixed that, so now people can view it from whatever device and zoom in close enough to see everything, right? But I'm still gonna have to move some stuff around because it's just it's getting like overwhelming too. I think like people look at it and they're like, what the fuck am I even looking at? Like this is insane. Like there's way too much going on all at once. So I don't even know. I don't know. I might have to just start breaking it into smaller clusters, and I just don't know. I kind of got I'm in over my head now. But I've already come this far.
Tours for certain people, so you've came so far. You can't give up now.
Yeah, like, no, I know. But then so I've started the director nexus. Okay, here we'll go through them. Oh, but you were not going to be able to see it. But okay, well, I guess if you go back when you come back later, you can watch the end or whatever. So we're already like past 2.5 hours here. Holy shit, that did fly. That flew by.
Yeah.
But so the directors and their companies and like with notes and stuff and like mapping out some of these questionable like the Buena Vista and you know, some of the companies and who they connect together to Predators and so on. So it's like just directors and Predators and Prey or whatever. And then I have the Trump scene map, which is a whole separate thing, but it does connect in ways too. Then I have just the Predator and Prey map because I'm starting to look at like the directors and then like Brian Peck connecting to Gacy and those people all in there. And just some of the movies becoming real life and weird stuff. Like, I don't know, I've started it, but it's so I'm gonna try to start separating some stuff out and making a little more sense of it because I'm not gonna give up. I'm definitely not giving up. Exactly, like I've come this far. I can't give up now.
You spend so much effort in that. You put so much time and effort. It's
like for real though.
Such a useful tool. It's such a useful tool to use, and I think, you know, when you need to map, when when you're finding information for those who want to find information, you know, you use the mind map to connect it a little bit. And it gives you, because there's always something in there, you know?
What's the visual? Like, it gives you the full visual.
It gives you the full visual perspective of how someone is connected to who and what it leads to and what it ultimately goes to and stuff, so.
Well, and then it's just, like, the question of how many Predator friends do you have before it goes from coincidence to suspicious?
There's gonna be a zillion, right? There's like a zillion Predator friends.
Right? Like, so, like, when you look at it on that...
It doesn't stop.
And then all the red dots, like, that alone is, like, a statement, right? Okay, now where did the cure go?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay, I can do it. It's happening. I'm fine. I think I found a spot. We have to move it farther, though. Hold on. No, shit. Okay, that's not gonna work, because then iceberg's in the way. Maybe I do it right here? Fuck, guys. Do you see this? What I've done to myself here? Fuck. Okay, that's okay. I'll figure it out. I think I can reach it around. We're gonna reach around Iceberg. It's his favorite. He's gonna love it. He loves a good reach around, I feel like.
I love an iceberg. I love Lost Media icebergs, like, you know?
Yeah. That too. That's sort of, yeah. Well, Steven Iceberg is
I might
kind of what I call him.
Make a channel. I might make a whole channel on that.
You
on that sort
could.
of thing with Lost Media, because I'm like obsessed with that sort of thing too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you could go, like, there's so many ways to go now, and now that we can actually have the conversations like more directly without people being like, you're weird for thinking that. Like, it's not weird though. Like, all these people are predators.
Yeah, like so many people,
they make
like,
it weird. The predators make it weird. I'm not weird for noticing it. I'm trying to help y'all figure it out, so that, you know, let's
why are you concerned about that? Like, why is someone so concerned about, like, us having these conversations is the real, like, conversation.
And not so much now, of course, but for the longest time, like, you couldn't.
For the longest time,
I found it. It's working. It's gonna reach around.
Oh, that's so good.
It worked. Okay. So the cure is over here now because it needs to connect. Oh, I guess not directly with that, but that Joseph Mazzello kid, I gotta fit in here. Because he was like a favorite too. He, I don't know. It turned out for him though, so I guess that's a good thing. But I don't know. A lot of people have said things about the Jurassic Park and like Hook and stuff. Like, you already know.
Yeah. Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like it's almost going too good for him. So it just worries me a little bit.
Yeah, that is going too good.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't. It's just like that's the one to make me worry about even more. So you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get you on that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, you do. Okay, it's two Z's. My bad. All right. There we go. And then we'll connect this, because he connects over there. Because what does he know? Because he was in that movie The Cure with Brad Renfro. Like, he worked with some of these other kids. Like, I know there's probably somewhere else I'm going to have to try to connect him to, but Jurassic Park was the main one for him, so he should just be over here with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people have said some stuff about, and even I'm saying it to an extent, of like the fetish of the kids under distress and the trauma of it, like the scream tapes and stuff. Like, he just has a bunch of tapes of all these kids screaming for his movies. That's part of all of his auditions. You know what I mean? Like Drew Barrymore and stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Like, why?
I know. Sorry, we don't have to go there right now, but eventually
we'll go there another time.
Eventually, well, because it does lead into like the stuff that some of these guys are into, like the John Wayne Gacy and stuff. Like, it's almost a precursor to that. Like, if you like kids in distress and you like their screaming, you're only one step away from it being harm. You know, you're more into the harm material than you are about the trespassing material. You know what I mean? And that's a concern.
Yeah. Well, Brian Peck, the Willies, like that's
yes.
That's like the.
I should put this in here. I'm gonna add it. Sorry, continue, but I'm gonna add that in here.
You should add it. I'm just surprised you all. I feel like that would be a movie where you're like, you have to stomach that to really take it, because
like, he knew. That's why he called it the Willies, because it gives you the fucking willies. You're like, ugh.
It's so,
you sick fuck.
But it's not even like.
The movie's not scary, but the idea, the whole,
the psychological aspect of him writing, directing that, and everything, and just the behind the scenes of that.
He wanted to be a Victor Salva, is the vibe I was getting from it.
Yeah.
Like, he was aspiring to be, like, I'm gonna go and make this movie. How far did
you get in it?
Like, not far at all. Probably like 10 minutes, if that. Like, enough to be like, I've seen enough. I already know. I don't like it. But, like, I know I need to go through, because I do want to talk to that guy, too. The Michael Bauer or whatever.
Yeah.
I got his email, and I drafted an email, but I didn't get that far. Like, I started writing an email.
Did you message him?
I haven't yet. I wanted to get more of a scope of the movie first, and get more of a scope of the whole thing first. But I'm hitting a brick wall because it gives me the fucking willies.
Well, even he's like a bit scared to talk about it. Like, he really regretted that video he put out. It's on, like, I have a thread of what he said about it and his experience. But, like, it feels like he's, I might have to tell you this off air, but I feel like with him, he's still processing that, and he doesn't know how to really feel, but he feels like there's something wrong, but he hasn't fully processed it.
Yeah.
Is where he's at. So he might not answer, and he might turn it away. He tries to be he's the type of person that tries to be as respectful as possible.
Yeah.
He will say something, but he's trying not to like be like, what do I say? He's not trying to say like, even though it's like, again, I have to just talk to you about this.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Yeah, we'll talk.
I can't talk about this.
Don't worry about it right now.
I don't want to like get into some. I don't want to talk about someone's experience with it and how they feel about it necessarily.
Yeah, if he's still like kind of feeling weird that he even shared it. Now I feel bad that I even brought it up. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Like, it's out there. It's public information, but yeah, sorry.
It's
continue.
Public information, and it's on my Twitter. Like, I have a whole thread on that.
Yeah.
He said exactly about it, so it's all there. He just took down the video. What I'm trying to get at with you is that he might just decline very respectfully, and he might, he might not want to necessarily, because he does it. He also I think he's just processing it, and sometimes. Yeah. We don't also want to re-traumatize the person either, so I'm just giving you a heads up.
Well, like, I'm fine if he would just want to talk out, like, off the record, just to give me more depth of understanding, and like that's why I take my time. Like, I'm not gonna just shoot him off an email like, "Hey, I'm some media people. Do you want to talk?" Like, I'm putting thought into it, and I wanted to take the time to watch the movie and like get more of an understanding of the situation before like, yeah, and like,
That's
so
fair
I've got like a
enough. That
draft
would
of
be
an
actually a
email, but
good
not
entry.
like, yeah, like I'm gonna put, I take this very seriously, obviously, you know, and I obviously
Yeah,
understand
I
that he's
know
a
you.
human
Yeah.
being, and how much of a, like, it's a difficult topic. Like, obviously, just me trying to go into this and learning about this stuff and going into the depths of the, you know, trying to get in the mind of some of these people to make these connections, you know, is like, it affects you, you know, it does affect your mental health and your everything, you know. So, like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
take it just as delicately as I would want somebody to do for me, kind of thing, you know. Like, I'm very empathetic in that way. So I'm not gonna just be like, oh yeah, I'm on this channel and I'm doing this thing and you know, I want the juicy fucking gossip or some shit, you know.
Yeah, no, I don't think you would do that or
No.
anything. I just think with him, with him,
Well,
I
and I think
find
he's
him
having
to be
health
like an
problems too right now, isn't he? So he's
yeah,
having it's a delicate
he
time.
does.
Yeah.
It is a lot. There's a lot going on there is all I'm saying. Like, so he might not talk about it really, and it might like, yeah, I think he has like severe anxiety, truthfully.
Yeah.
So, so you just want to be like, yeah, so it will be, but I think it is good to like speak to him and maybe he'll give you some insight and maybe he'll give you some off the record conversations, especially if you plan to talk about the Willies more and maybe even do videos on it and do a retrospective on it,
Well,
possibly, which is a good
like,
idea too.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I would do a segment on its own, but like the whole sphere of like the Brian Peck and some of those connections in there, it all says something. So I would definitely do a segment on it. I don't know if I would do like a whole. I mean, once I
Whole
start
thing
watching
about
it,
it.
it might end up being a whole fucking thing. I don't know. Like, I don't want to speak too soon. Shit,
Well,
you know.
yeah, you never know because it might. It when I think of like the creepy shit, I really like that. Just like the first thing that comes to mind. Like, I'm sorry, but that should be Exhibit A of
Yeah,
that,
fair
just
enough.
because of Brian
I
Peck
just don't
alone
want
and what is happening.
like I just don't
It's
want to
hard
give
to
him
watch
that
that.
much. I just don't want to give him that much attention that way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want him to feel that his movie's even worth that much of my fucking attention. If is what it kind of comes down to,
Mm,
you know what I mean? You don't deserve your whole own little
yeah,
segment because you're actually a piece of shit. You know, you're gonna get clustered in with all of these other pieces of shit,
I
and we're
feel,
gonna graze
I
over
feel
the
like,
content, the movies, because none of what you've made is fucking worth talking about.
oh,
It's
I see
all
what you're
garbage. Do you
saying.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like I hear what you're saying too, and you're not wrong either. Like, it probably could be a whole fucking dive for what, just from what I've gathered so far, and for what, like, yeah, for sure, probably. But I don't think he deserves that. You know what I mean? I don't think he deserves to have a full
Like one of his works
breakdown.
being
Do you know
presented
what I
like
mean?
that,
Yeah, no.
Okay, I see
He
what
can
you're
get
saying.
roped
Because
in with like the murder junkies, whatever, with the Gacy and the like. There's a video here. There is a dive there that it's all gonna go. There's a common thread, so it's worth. It's definitely worth talking about. But yeah, I'm not giving him his whole moment because he's fucking a weirdo. And I don't know if I can stomach
yeah,
that. I don't know if I can stomach a full fucking dive just on
I
that
couldn't even
fucking. You know what I
stomach the
mean?
trailer. I
Yeah,
couldn't
it's
even
fucked
stomach the
up. No,
trailer.
it's fucked up.
So I
And
don't.
the setting, it makes me feel like how Clown House made me feel. And it's been years, and I've still never watched that whole movie. I watched just enough to be like, okay, I'm seeing some imagery here. I'm seeing a vibe. We know this guy's a fucking perv. Now, where else have we seen all this imagery in other fucking movies for people that apparently aren't pervs, but there's a lot of dead kids around? You know. Nobody wants to point the fingers,
Yeah,
but there's all these red dots connected to them, and then they're connected to these weird movies, and here we are, right?
these really bad weird movies,
Yeah,
mind you.
yeah. But the Willies,
And it's
like,
not.
it's all very similar. And then, like, the Curse with Will Wheaton that I was talking about earlier, like, they all have a similar vibe. Like, how you were saying about the Feldman's performance, the darkness. Like, you can feel the darkness. Like, it's not even that the movie's scary. Like, the clown movie, not scary. The fucking Willies, whatever, the maggots, and it's not even scary. But the dark undertones, that's what makes it scary. That's what makes it just
Yeah,
uncomfortable, you know?
yeah, that makes sense. That totally is that's literally what it is. It's like it's this thing that's more of the issue at hand.
It's just, yeah, it's like, and but he doesn't like. I would be concerned that giving it too much attention would bring him positive attention, like how you just said too, of like negative publicity can be also be good publicity, right? So if I do a whole one video just on his fucking movie, then it's giving it way too much of a spotlight. You know what I mean? That's still too good for him. You
Yeah.
know. He don't deserve that.
I don't see it as a good thing for him, but maybe he'll
No,
see
but
it as a good thing.
exactly. Because if it brings attention and it gets people watching the movie,
Is that even
or
on
if it
platforms?
like
Is that
I don't
even on
know.
platforms?
I don't know. Because sometimes bringing attention to it, even if you're bringing negative attention to it, it's giving him attention that he might still be getting a thrill out of. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, because he's a weirdo. Like, I'm still trying to figure out his weirdness, and if it's something that would be, I don't know. I don't know.
To be honest,
I don't know.
this movie seems to have gotten like a lot of negative reviews over the years, even prior to all this Quiet on Set. Like even at the time of its release, it seemed to have had negative reviews.
Yeah.
So,
maybe he does deserve to get cut up a little bit, for sure.
So I think they've done the work on that.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, but then bringing it back, I don't know. I want to be tactful about it too, because obviously, like, I'm not trying to traumatize the audience either, right? And like,
yeah, no one should watch this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, please don't watch it.
Like, don't watch it.
Like, I'm too scared to watch it. Like, and it's not because it's scary. It's just because, like you said,
the undertones.
The undertones. It's more so the undertones. That's what makes it.
But like,
there's like a real.
Somebody has to filter it to like deliver the information, and I get that that's kind of my job. I get that I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna do it in a way that I'm not giving him any fucking, I don't know. Like, he's not gonna get his own spotlight. He's not getting his own spotlight. That's all. Like, he's gonna get run through the trash bin the same as all these other fucking guys.
Yeah.
In like a one overall thing, or take them all.
I wouldn't want to talk about that for 2 hours either. I don't think I could not.
You know?
I could not. Just to be honest with you.
You know, like, I'm not. I don't want to. Like, I'm gonna try though. Like, I do need to take it in, and because like. To do it justice, if I am going to reach out to Buddy, and, like, it's a process. I got to do it in chunks. Like, I'm not fucking...
If anything...
I'm not, like, totally resilient to this stuff. Like, I have to do it in stages. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to absorb the story, and then I'm absorbing the material, and then I'm absorbing the... And then how am I going to approach in a way that's, like, you know...
Yeah, and if anything, like... There could be some, like, even just from Michael Bauer said that was alarming, what he said about this, about his behind-the-scenes experience. And if there's more kids on this
well, then
set,
a kid did get put through it. Like, he chose not to go through with it, right?
Sorry?
Like, because he chose not to go through with it, right? Or he did go through with it? He didn't want to be nude for it, though. Or whatever. There was stuff that he chose not to do. So he got in trouble, kind of.
So what happened...
I'm going to have to review.
With Michael Bauer?
Yeah.
Michael Bauer. So in the thread that I posted on Twitter...
yeah, I have to go back and read the thing. I think I just, like, watched the video, and then I was like, it was so late already.
It wasn't like him being necessarily nude in it. It was more so in the change rooms. What happened was Brian Peck wanted to go in the change room with him to help Michael Bauer change. And Michael Bauer kept rejecting him, and Brian Peck kept being persistent about going in the change room with him. And then also this separation of parent to child as well, because Brian Peck didn't want Michael Bauer's father around, and also he would try to be on Michael Bauer's father's good side, so he would have Michael Bauer to himself, similar to Drake Bell. So Brian Peck was using the same pattern with Michael Bauer prior. Even back in this was before Drake Bell even.
Yeah.
This is like decades.
Oh, and you went right back. I found it. You went right back to the DiCaprio thing too with the growing pains. Yeah, I'm gonna put a pin in this.
Exactly. So it's not Brian Peck's first rodeo with the Drake Bell thing. There's probably other people too. To be quite honest with you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So and it's clear he had this pattern of behavior even when he was doing this. Like about 14 years prior.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, there probably is other victims, and there's probably other people that just, like, their parents would have taken the money, and, like, yeah, it's just sad. It's a lot. And for what I'm already reading, like, yeah, I just gotta do it in stages, because it's like, if he's still with us, too, it's even more delicate, because I don't want to do anything or bring anything to a light that would affect his mental health. You know what I mean? Like, I have to be, and if you're saying that, especially he already is, like, from what you're telling me, too, like, I just would even more, I would even more want to handle it with care, you know. So
Yeah, he's nice. He has a good heart. Like I think
I
that comes from
watched
a good
some of
place.
his
He's sweet.
stuff. Yeah, like I was watching one of his things the other day. Like he was doing a live stream or whatever, and I was listening kind of in the background. Like so, I'm doing my due diligence.
Oh,
I'm like tuning in and just like observing for a little bit just to get a vibe, because like I'm just yeah like I do things very carefully. I do understand the delicate nature, and for myself even like it's difficult for me even you know some of this stuff gets triggering for myself for my own childhood shit, right? So I have to be mindful of that too, right?
yeah,
But
that's true.
yeah. T-34 Peck is an appropriate name for that being. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That's a
Yeah.
very
Oh, and Sunny
it is a
Swan.
pro.
Sorry, I was just gonna catch up with a couple people here quick. The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, do you know about that movie?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, it's
I
from a
don't
few
know that
years
movie.
ago. Oh, that's one I still gotta go back and fully watch it. That's a movie that I'd ended up like on the set by accident. I was just kind of walking along, and then they were
Oh,
slowly like building the set around and like blocking off the thing and bringing the lights people over and stuff. But then like as you're walking down the street, I'm like looking, and all the stores have been turned into like set stores. So I have a bunch of pictures of that too. That
oh,
was an
that's
interesting experience. And I was
cool.
like drunk and stuff, just like on my little fucking La La Land. And then I'm like looking around, and there's the old cars, and then the old like wig store, toy store, like all these like it's all set for the theme. And I'm like, holy fuck, like what's going on here? And then you realize what's happening around you, but it literally will just start happening around you. Then you're just walking down the street, and suddenly they're setting
Yeah.
up a set. And they just start kind of corralling you out of the way, and they start putting up these little fence things, and then you're just there, part of it. So it's funny that you mentioned that because that's one of the last time is when I was spending a lot more time in the belly of the beast. That was one of the
Oh,
sets that I found my way onto by accident though, because I wasn't even intending to be there. But it was
that's
kind of
so
cool. It was
funny.
kind of interesting. It's
That is
interesting to see how
cool.
it happens though, like just how like everyone starts assembling around. Like it's like everywhere there is a movie set. Like there's nowhere there that's not a movie set.
Yeah,
Like
that's true. It's very interesting because you feel like you're in like a dollhouse in some of those sets because they're so pristine and they're so clean. Like they look so clean too. So it just feels like you're in a dollhouse,
well, and then
you know, with the
if
way
it's a
they've
different
built.
time, it's like it's very convincing too. So
If
I'm
it's a
just like
different
tripping
time,
for a minute. I'm like, holy fuck, like
you're going
did
back in
we
time.
took a wrong turn here, I think, you know. And then you
Yeah.
realize like, okay, all right, yeah, we're in like Hollywood here, so they're doing Hollywood shit, right? That's right. Okay, the lights, the camera, the action, I get it now. Yeah,
Yeah, makes sense. Makes
yeah,
total sense.
good times. Well, shit, yeah. So we're almost at fucking 3 hours here, so I think we could probably leave it at
Oh my
that. We'll
God.
leave
Yeah,
everybody
that
with the
sounds good.
willies. Give everyone the willies and send them home.
You know what? I wanna send it. I wanna say like support Michael Bauer. You know, let's leave on that note. You know,
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
going through
speaking of
it.
growing pains, fuck. Sorry. Yeah, continue. They're mentioning the Stephen Marshall on Growing Pains was another guy, because it wasn't just Brian Peck. There was also Stephen Marshall, and then
Oh
that
God,
Andrew Koenig guy that he intentionally ended his life after Growing Pains. So Brian Peck has definitely had his hands
experience.
everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, they were mentioning too, like, because the chat's a little, we're delayed for the chat, so they're just catching up on
We're
our convo
delayed.
like a
Yeah,
minute ago, right? Um,
yeah. That makes sense.
but yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
but
support Michael Bauer, and if you guys consider the links should have, I'm gonna just repost it again, but if you guys consider supporting Obscure Nick, make sure to follow, subscribe, all
thank
that stuff
you.
too, and yeah, like I don't know if I don't know when to expect the willies, because yes, it gives me the fucking willies. Lots of creeps. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Good luck with that.
yeah. No, I have it open
You'll
somewhere. I'm just like I just couldn't.
Okay,
I
I
couldn't then.
really am
I'll
curious. I'm
try
actually
again,
kind of
maybe.
curious, but I'm not
I'll try
like, but I
again
can't
tonight.
do it myself. I cannot do that
Like
myself.
I might just have to do it in like 5 to 10 minute segments, like every night or every other night for the
That's
next
what I'm
couple
doing
weeks.
with
You know what I mean?
Conspiracy Silence. That's what
Yeah,
I'm doing with Conspiracy of Silence. So
which I don't blame you, because it's a lot too. Like that's one of those ones
it's
that
a
took me some
lot,
time. That took
yeah,
me time to go around and through it.
to process what's happening and stuff too.
Yeah, it changes you. It definitely changes you. Like your mental.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, wow, thank you. That, like, I don't know how it's like 3
Yeah.
hours just flying by. But thank you, everybody,
Yeah.
and
Well,
for
thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank
yeah,
you,
of course.
everyone.
And thanks for sticking around, guys, for a later stream. Sorry it was a little bit of a delay, but we made it, and I think it was worth the wait. But
Yeah, I think so too.
yeah, a lot of creepy people on the growing pains. Almost the growing pains might be worth doing like a little more of a dive because there was definitely so much more going on there. And I'm actually curious now what the theater was or the studio where they shot that. Do you know? The growing pains? I'm gonna
Let
look it
me.
up. I'm gonna maybe
I
put a
might
pin
be. It
in it.
might be. It's probably in Burbank, but Burbank. Where was? Like, I think it was. I think it might have been in. Usually, it's all these things are in Burbank, California. It was
Yeah.
at. It was at the Warner Bros. Studio in Burbank.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna put a pin in that because I don't know. That I think would be more like needing its own thing than the fucking Willies. Which, but then I could kind of incorporate the Willies into there because the Willies. When did that come out? That was like just after,
In
wasn't
the
it?
same time.
It was around
Yeah,
the same
like, well,
time.
the Growing
Okay.
Pains was still on.
So
It
that's
was
like a
still on.
segue. There's a segue there.
There's a
Because
segue.
there's like a lot going on there, and then yeah, the Bob Villard. Like there is a lot going on there. So either way, we're gonna revisit it at some point anyway. Uh, fuck sakes.
Yeah.
Fucking guy.
You could do a one. You could do like me, just do season by season of Growing Pains, and then,
Yeah.
because that probably is more easier. That honestly, that might be more easier to watch than the Dan Schneider shows and the Willies. But
Yeah.
to be quite honest with you,
Well, and I
but
think
there's
DiCaprio was only on the 2 seasons or whatever, but
but there's people probably prior to it too.
yeah.
You know?
Well, there's the one main character too that probably is worth looking into. What's the shit? Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, we should wrap this up
We'll talk
probably
about
anyway.
Growing Pains another way.
We'll
Yeah.
do this another day. Yeah, we'll do this a second on a whole other tangent here. We're never gonna finish.
Okay.
But yeah.
Hope you guys.
Sorry, you go ahead.
Oh, I hope you guys have a good night and everything. Thank you for watching, and subscribe to me at like Obscure Nick, or send me PayPal if you want, or all of the things.
Support independent media.
Support.
Well, you need to get your Patreon and stuff set up again too. So then
Yeah, I
next
need to
time
figure that out.
we can share all that
Next
shit
time.
too. There'll always be a next time. It's fine. But everybody,
It's
yeah,
fine,
go rinse off your eyeballs and your ear holes after this Willie's talk. Go watch some comedy, some light comedy, like Brave Little Toaster or something. I think that's really the only thing that can make it better at this point.
That sounds really good.
You know? All right. Well, thank you
Yeah,
again
makes
for
sense.
coming back and for a great chat. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
we'll circle back and make sure to check out the Miley Cyrus. That was your last video, right? The Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, the Miley Cyrus.
And there's
Can't
more
Be
to come.
Tamed era.
Yeah,
more to
good
come.
video, and there's more to come. And there's the PayPal
Thank you,
link
yeah.
that just came up. Perfect. All right, everybody, have a
Perfect.
wonderful evening. Much love.
Hey, bye guys. Much love.
This video has been brought to you by Patreon, where I post more info, resources, bonus, and uncensored content. Everything is free to all members. Paid members just get early access, and some other features and benefits. It's mainly just a way to support the cause, stay informed with behind-the-scenes updates, and there is a public chat. I share all other news and updates outside of my body of work to the Eyes Wide Open group and over on Twitter. Everything mentioned and more can be found in the description. Lastly, make sure to like, hype, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the flip side.
Red bricks crumble under my feet, a path that whispers a cursed heartbeat. Shadows stretch long, they know my name. Every step forward